and all that type of stuff. I like to learn on the real moment.
Was born here in
North Carolina, 1955. The Ku Klux Klan has just
identify our families that were in fact enslaved. We can't make it broad. We actually have to identify our parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents. And so, for example, I'll show you something really quickly here. So you have to let me share. You have to let me share.
Oh, my bad. I'm
okay.
Good.
So to establish a class of plaintiffs, the class of plaintiffs have to absolutely show that family members were enslaved. Otherwise, it's just general. And often in a lot of cases, how can I say, you don't fit muster. For example, that's just how America works. For example, if you are trying to vote and you are a Republican and you tried to vote in a primary, no, you didn't satisfy, you are a Republican. If you are a Democrat, then you actually put yourself in the class of Democrats because you do things to that the Democratic Party tells you to do, whatever level you're on in the Democratic level. And so my point of making that point is that to do certain things, you have to qualify. So if I share my screen, the difference between, let's say here, the difference between me is that me being a member of my family in the South, I was born in the South to Southern parents from Virginia, my father from North Carolina. I knew some of my great grandparents, not all of them. And so the difference between me is that for my family rights, oh shoot, what happened here? For my family rights, is this the one? For my family rights, I could trace my parents, I could trace my grandparents, I could trace my great-grandparents, and I could trace some of my great-great-grandparents, right? You would want to use people like me instead of, and having to know that almost all of them, except for the ones who are white, right, or what you call traditional Black Americans. You might want to call them foundational Black Americans, but I'm using a terminology that that is earlier terminology. So the reason why I'm showing this is because most people say that they are FBA, but they don't really know where their great-grandparents come from. And so then it comes to another issue. I'll stop sharing my screen.
I mean, that's a possibility.
Right? It's a great possibility because you have to know about the legal slave trade in the United States, because that's who we would be suing for reparations.
Yeah.
Starts at 1776, right? So you would have to know who your family was as close in those periods, and then you have to know that the legal slavery in the United States ended in 1808. The act to end the importation of Africans.
Okay.
1807 and 1808. Then you would have to know something about the illegal slave trade, where African people were being smuggled in the United States, because certainly during the Gulf of Mexico, around the Gulf of Mexico and Florida and all of those places, and going up the Missouri River, because they needed labor after 1808, because those particular places were becoming states and they needed their land cleared. and they couldn't. The other states like Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, uh, uh, those states, they didn't want to. They would sell their slaves at they're enslaved at a very high price, but these other places needed new labor, and so they got that from the act for smuggling is Africans from the Caribbeans, from the Sea Islands, from the islands outside South Carolina. And so we had a new influx of Africans that were coming from the Caribbean, but they weren't Caribbeans. They were Africans in the Caribbean. They were Africans in the Caribbean, but they were still Africans. They weren't Jamaican yet. They may have lived in those places. They were being smuggled from Curacao and other places, Brazil, that were holding places, because the bulk of the Africans that came during the enslavement actually came not necessarily to America, but to other places. And then as holding places, and then when the illegal slave trade came, it became kind of like a windfall that these shippers, pirates, were shipping people into Texas and up and down, right? And so now those groups of people, now they're being enslaved, but they're not what you call foundational Black Americans, right? Because they didn't come from America. They actually came from other places. Then we go to another period where about 1915, where, well, after the Act for the Importation of Africans ended, then you have this population after the Civil War where where America is now importing immigrants, Irish and Italian and Jewish groups, and that is going to be a major threat to the future of African Americans or Black Americans or Negroes in the United States. So it was Booker T. Washington in 1915, in the last years of his life, that he challenged and succeeded in challenging the African exclusion measure. So the African exclusion measure prohibited any Blacks from from coming into the United States from any place because of the problems of slavery. But slavery is over in 1915, but white folks are importing new, fresh white folks that will be Americans in 2 or 3 generations. They will be white. And our populations have been devastated because of the treatment of Africans, right? Devastated during slavery, then devastated during Reconstruction, devastated during the Black Codes. And so Booker T. Washington came up with a plan that we needed fresh, new, fresh Black people. And so a large group of people who actually came were groups of Africans who worked in Panama, places like that. And then later I heard you talk about the Immigration Act.
At that point, those were Jamaicans. They're identified as Jamaicans.
Well,
it's like 300,000 of them. So I'm saying that the way history records it, history is identifying those people.
Yeah, they're identified. They're remember they are identified from where they come from as far as a place, but they are Black people. They are African descendants. They're not carrying necessarily a flag, but they're not from America. These are migrant workers who. So yes, they came, and then you was right about the Immigration Act, right, where another wave of Africans came from all parts of the Caribbean.
Yeah, but they weren't coming here in large numbers.
Well, they came,
Yeah, and
and
they got sent back out. They came for agricultural purposes, and it was like a contract basically at a period of time, and then they shipped them back out.
yeah, some yes, and but many of them stayed, and many of them intermarried with Africans here,
I don't know about that.
and then those Africans that came from the period of 1808, those groups of Africans that came from these places, uh, they were not shipped out because they were enslaved, but they weren't originally from America. They originally didn't, the boats didn't originally take them from what we call saltwater Africans into the United States. They usually were in the Caribbean first. Large parts of Africans were broken in the Caribbean and shipped, but they're not really Caribbeans. They were just broken in those places, taught to be slaves, some of the mannerisms of enslavement, and then sold to the colonists. And then there were groups of Africans that came directly from Africa to here, and that makes up the African population, I think. My problem is again, the history of what the FBA says that they are, who they are. Is it an organization? What they do to escape that, they say that they are a lineage. But when they escape the fact that they say that they are a lineage, well, our lineage is from Africa. Our lineage is not from the places. We're African people. So what they want to do is they want to exclude the African part, and that's interesting, and we can
So
get into some
what do
of
you
that.
mean? What do you mean? Specify that. What do you mean they want to exclude the
Right.
African part?
So when you call them FBAs,
Right.
Foundational Black Americans, these are African descent. These are people from Africa,
Yeah.
right? They become integrated or acculturated in America.
Mm-hmm.
So I have lots of questions about that, and those questions have already been answered by scholars like Franklin Frazier and Du Bois and a whole group of, even an important Jewish historian or anthropologist or sociologist, Melville Herskovitz. Okay, so what was interesting about my later conversation with Mike Lowry, when that other person came on and said that E. Franklin Frazier said that Africans lost their heritage. Oh, well, E. Franklin Frazier was an integrationist. He was the one of the people getting us in the burning fire by discrediting our Africanness. Our lineage is, I want to ask you, is our lineage African, or is our lineage a place that we were enslaved in? What's our lineage? Well, you
Both.
can say both,
Yeah, both.
but I want to hear you out.
Both.
Huh?
I'm saying both.
Okay. So if you say both, right, where's our genetics from? Our genetics are from where? You can say both.
Yeah, yeah. We had an ethnogenesis here,
Oh, say
and
what?
ethnogenesis.
Okay. I hate that word.
That's a real word
Um,
with a real definition.
yeah, okay. Explain to me how that works.
Okay, so you occupy a place, is layman terms, for a long hundreds of years, like we have. You adopt a custom 100% different from where you originated from. So basically you have nothing besides some phenotypes, and we barely got that. Because we're not dark as them. Okay. So, but everything about us is completely different than them. So much so, if we go back over there and don't even say one word, a lot of them know we're not part of where their region is at. So ethnogenesis, if you separate from a people for so long, hundreds of years, you adopt your own culture, your language, your customs, and everything about you uniquely separates you from other people where you can't identify with them at all and they can't identify with you. That's the ethnogenesis in short.
Okay. Now, I think that's a little oversimplification, because African people were coming into the Americas from 1776 until 1808, and then from 1808, they were coming in here during the illegal slave trade. And for the purposes of reparations, I will stop there, right, at that period. So these groups of Africans that were coming in, how do we know, how would I defeat E. Franklin Frazier, right? I could tell you how I could defeat it, but what I'm curious about is, are we saying that our connection with white people, right, in America makes us different? Or are you saying that? Because I think
Yeah,
that that's what you're saying, that,
yeah,
huh?
no different than the Haitians' connection with the French makes them different. They have a lot more in common with the French. The UK have more in common with, I mean, the Jamaicans have more in common with the British than any other black or any other white person. Yeah, so the people who colonized us, matter of fact, the carnival that Jamaicans do, like they stole the Caribbean, they stole that from the Romans. So, and but they brought it to themselves and they remixed it and
Hmm.
they're half naked running around and now it's theirs.
Hmm.
So yeah, a lot of our cultures, the Creole, the church, the Roman Catholic stuff that the Haitians do, that's the French. Yeah, so all of us in the diaspora, our cultures are piggyback from white people, our colonizers.
Okay, so that's problematic. Uh, that is
Not for me.
problematic, and I'm glad that we're discussing it, because if we're defining ourselves in our closeness with our oppressor to make us different than other Africans, that's really problematic, um, uh, for a whole host of reasons, right? To disassociate yourself from Africa and make your relationship with white people much more important is problematic. Um,
I'm just showing people what we're talking about. So you don't believe that over all that time, 100 years of the Haitians, you don't believe they have more in common with the French than what they have in with the Africans, let's say Liberia, let's say the Somalis, let's say the Ghanaians, Canadians, you don't think that they have more in common with their colonizers and their custom and ways and their language than the continental Africans and Jamaicans and the Black Americans? You think we got more in common with Africans
mhm,
than our colonizers?
yeah.
Really?
So
I know nothing about what they do over there.
yeah. So I think that our relationship of our lineage, right, who we are, is more in common with African people than white people.
Explain.
I think that culture, I think we have cultures of survival, which you call survival cultures in the Americas, that uh, writers have spoke about. And so when you go to E. Franklin Frazier, he was an integrationist. And so, and he was an integrationist, and there were lots of Black Christians who helped and strip us of our African culture, languages, right? And so that does come with that came with enslavement, and that came with after enslavement, but there's still a survival of our Africanness. And I could, for example, E. Franklin Frazier did not study those Africans on the Northeast Shore. He didn't study those. E. Franklin Frazier did not study the Gullah Geechee people. The Gullah Geechee people have uh, uh, um, enormous African culture. He didn't study that. He studied largely Blacks in cities, right? And where we're in survival culture. Um, so, uh, so then there are critics of E. Franklin Frazier um, that said that what if E. Franklin Frazier, when they criticized his thinking, um, they've been criticizing him since he wrote about the Black family, right? Now, but identifying with the oppressor has created a problem for us because we give the oppressor a pass and we
What do you mean
don't
give a
give,
pass?
huh?
We're suing them for reparations. That's not a pass. That's they find that as a
No, we are
crippling.
suing. We are see, reparations movement is not the only movement our people have had. We've had bloody revolutions, bloody liberations. We've had arguments of separation. We don't want to be a part of that. We want to strip ourselves of the white acculturation. So reparations is only one of a recent
Right. Yeah,
strategy.
yeah, but white people look at okay, you talk about the rebellions. That's a small portion of white folks who are affected. Okay, everything you're naming, I don't care what you name, besides the civil rights movement, those are small pockets of white people that are affected. That wasn't felt throughout America. Reparations, if this is something, if this is granted, this is felt nationally. Every white person is going to feel this. So that's my so this magnitude is way far more impactful and greater than things you're saying. You're talking about a rebellion. This small city, this small city.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about different strategies that the African and American, the Black
Right, but I'm
American.
saying the bulk of white folks probably don't even know anything about that. It's just the people who are directly affected. What I'm saying is reparations is that's like an earthquake. That's like a tsunami over here. All white folk, and this is why they are more opposed. Those rebellions, they'll write that off. Reparations is when they all, and some white folks might agree with some of those rebellions. Like, yeah, they deserve what they got. But when it comes to reparations, largely white folks are on cold.
Okay.
No.
Okay, well, that's I definitely I don't definitely don't disagree, but I did say that there were other movements. Uh, there's the Nation of Islam, for example, later Republic of New Africa, later but relevant. Um, um, and all those groups of people, Booker T. Washington was not an integrationist. He was saying basically cast your shovels down where you are, right? He wrote Up From Slavery. He didn't concern what he was doing with at all with white people. He was trying to use tools, educate people. That was his primary concept.
So,
And
so
then
you
he
think
saw
historically
Africa,
that works?
huh? Say what?
You think historically, and I need some examples. You think historically, a minority group or somebody cut off from, let's say, the white power structure globally, you think a minority group that can cut themselves from the white global power structure can just pull their bootstraps up without any assistance from the white power structure globally, and they just can get it together and compete? If you think, if you believe that, see, I disagree. I believe
I'm
you're
glad
gonna
you
need,
said that because that's
yeah.
not what I said.
No,
So
I said
I
that
let you
because you
talk. I
kept saying
mean,
this
you're
person's
the
not an
host,
integrationist,
but that's
that
not
person's not
what
an
I said. I
integrationist.
said that we've had different types of movements, right, with different strategies. And I
So,
mentioned
so do you believe that we over here, wherever you call some African Americans, blacks, doesn't matter. Do you believe that we in this country are definitely going to need white people to get on board to get things popping, or do you believe we can get things going without any assistance from white folks in this country?
I don't think that we could get anything done uh, by ourselves completely, but there are things that we can get done by
Like what?
ourselves.
Like what? And show me.
Oh,
Give me an
no,
example.
it's just an easy conversation. The bulk of our people are in majority, our majorities are in cities and counties, right? Controlling cities and counties with a majority population gives us a best interest, right? Best interest. That in when we run these city governments does not mean that we should be racist to anybody, but we should run effective city governments or county governments to look out for the population of the city. Currently, right now, our reparations movements are in the places that I am talking about, the cities and counties. So the fact of the matter is removing ourselves from white people like the Republic of New Africa. Uh, I think that is difficult. I think that is difficult. But
Never
within
happened.
say what?
It's never happened.
I didn't hear the last word.
I said it's never happened since white folks been conquering the white powers. We talking about Russia, the European powers, America. Give me a nation that made it to first world without white folks' assistance.
Um, I don't, again, I don't disagree, but
Oh,
you're
because wait,
using
bro,
that
Reggie. So,
way.
so that was for you in the chat. The chat was acting like they just could disregard white folks and be
Yeah,
successful.
but the fact of the matter is we are a nation, a lonely nation away. The Native Americans, they have the Bureau of Indian Affairs, where colonies, I mean, sorry, that native groups of people uh, get tribal status, they get domestic dependent sovereignty, and they get a land trust, right? They get those things from the treaties, right? Black folks in America, we will never get that
Never.
ever. We will never get that. So our
Well, that's
core,
why we want reparations. We don't want that. We want
say
reparations.
what?
We don't want that. We want reparations.
Okay, so now the problem with reparations is that we're going through different constructs, right? With reparations on how should reparations be given. It should be given land. It should be a cash payout for one generation. Should it be a trust for multiple generations? Should it be just for city residents or county residents? And so those are the issues that we are talking about. So there are different strategies of reparations. Currently, we are largely at the study stage because we found out that the federal government stage type of reparations is not going to work. So, getting back to getting back to a few things. So let's just go back up to FBA. Okay, so my issue is okay. My issue is let me just I don't know why this is happening at this point, but I'll fix it. Okay, so
So
and I
Cuban
can't see the
crisis.
chat, and that's a good thing.
No, no, they're not wild. I'm looking at it, bro.
Okay,
Nobody say anything bad about you or me. They're just
okay.
asking subtle
Because I mean
questions.
these name
Yeah.
callings, these artificial
Nah,
names that they call
they
me,
I don't see that. I don't
I'm
see that in the chat.
Tezzering. I'm more of a researcher and I'm an activist and a person who's involved myself in organizations. So
Because the chat's actually split. I think a lot of them like what you're saying, and a lot of them like my position. To be
okay.
honest,
Well, FBA is not an organization. They say it's a lineage, but obviously we have different lineages. And the problem is that we have people who have an integrationist lineage that they feel America's the greatest place in the world,
oh yeah, it
and
definitely is.
so we should culturate to white people. And by
But it
doing
ain't
that,
white people because white people are influenced by us too. So it's like a symbiotic relationship. Like it's some things that we picked up from them that
yes,
we
but
like
they
some
are the
good stuff.
controllers. They are the controllers. They rape us. We will create something like Motown in Detroit,
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah,
right?
unfortunately, you
And they were
have
sending their corporations.
yeah,
They have NBA, NFL, the national, the baseball league, right? They even our talent, right? They send in their corporations. They sign contracts. These corporations are multinational. When I mean multinational, within the United States, and they basically suck our cities and counties dry of a natural resource that we have which is wealth. I mean, which is entertainment, which is athletic abilities, right? And then once they're sucked through, these groups of people become hostage to these corporations, and they not only do it with they also do it with our intellectual. These corporations come in, whether they're IBM, Cisco, Microsoft, whatever the case, suck our best out, then we become minions for them, and we're focused on keeping our jobs and things like that. We don't really give back. Um, but the bulk of our wealth has been music and entertainment,
Yeah.
athletic ability, and that's where a lot of millionaires, black millionaires, were made, and these corporations were sucked us dry. So the problem is studying this and having creating majority black cities and counties to give a, how can I say, a reason to stay in those cities and counties. We've had like the Negro Leagues. Negro Leagues is a great example. Or not just the Negro Leagues, the baseball, but the football teams and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Whereas
Basketball.
our cities and counties, our people, we were able to keep our athletes in our city. The biggest problem has become, again, these corporations that suck
And
out.
even hip hop. You could throw hip hop in there.
Yeah, hip hop is a great exercise, and so we could talk a little bit about that. But the FBA says that it was they want to hijack the Bronx. I'm from the Bronx. I know many of these people who were
Yeah, I don't
pioneers.
discredit. That's why I say I'm a little different. I don't discredit the influence Latinos had on hip hop or even Cool Herc. What he did was actually a vital part in hip hop.
Oh,
I
it's
yeah.
more. I can go. I have a list of I can run down the list, but it started in the Bronx. But what happened is that the corporations came in first as clubs and then record labels, right?
Now you
And
ain't got to sign though. You can keep it like Barry Gordy. You could keep it just within yourself. You don't got to go sign. You got to So there's some accountability there because these people were not business savvy. And like you said, I agree. The businessman came in there knowing they had the advantage, knowing about masters and publishing. They knew all this stuff. They knew black folks and Latinos and
so
Jamaicans
why
nothing
would
about it.
FBA be so ignorant in
Well, you can't
understanding?
classify the whole group.
Say
You
what?
have some people. I said I don't, you can't lump us all up as like one brain. You got some people who might be a little more radical than just like any other Jamaicans and Haitians and
I
whites
know the
and Puerto Ricans.
corporations, there wasn't even a fight with well, there was fights with corporations, and unfortunately, people actually died, disappeared, right? Um, and forced into situations by other black people. But for the FBA to say that it
No,
that it wasn't
no,
the
you
Bronx,
can't say FBA, okay?
I
Because again,
can, because it's
no,
the FBA that's saying press one if hip hop was started by FBA. You can see for yourself. I can
so
I
you
love it when
disagree
they
with
do
that?
that
You
because
disagree?
I
You
love
disagree
it
with
when they
that?
do that because most of the people that's talking ain't from the Bronx.
Yeah, but when you hear people from the Bronx speak, the people who were before Cool Herc, like I heard DJ Faze come on your show with his wife and Laura Alba, and I seen Charlie Rock. I see these guys, and they are telling you, well, Charlie, I know DJ Faze for a fact said when they were rapping or hip hopping, they said Latino was there, but they were just watching like a spectacle before they. So he said his best remembrance,
Don't dis I don't
and even scratching, like even scratching. He
I don't
said Cool Herc
disagree,
came to his
but
house
I
for
think that's
records.
a petty, I really think that's a petty dispute because the pioneers of hip hop, they need reparations. The pioneers of hip hop, it's a Bronx thing. Everybody exploited the pioneers, and then the people that came behind them that made the money, they barely even want to mention them, right?
I agree with that.
Okay, so but there were pioneers, right, that were not what you call FBA. But the FBA says, well, it was a black culture thing.
Not
Well,
all, no, not because we had that discussion here. Matter of fact, I'm one of the guys that argued breakdancing was Latino, so in graffiti. So I'll be having an argument here. And,
well,
and and some FBAs disagree and some agree. So you can't. That's what I'm trying to say.
well,
I think what you're doing
it's
is
again, I'm from the
disingenuous.
Bronx, and so the be, slightly before that, there was another movement. I'm not going to call it directly disco, but it was a underground movement that um, groups of people participated in. Black musicians, black DJs, uh, and a lot of, unfortunately, a lot of gays, right? Uh, uh, in what you call what was happening in Manhattan. And these people ran these after hour spots and these clubs and stuff like that. And the next wave was Black people doing it themselves in their own communities and came up with a whole nother genre. Hip hop starts when Cowboy says it was hip hop. Before that, it was pretty much the Black parties partying, jamming. It was the jam, and then there was a name, the genre, and then these Europeans, or not, I'm just going to see these corporate groups of people that ran corporations and clubs. Their movement was kind of dying out, and
Right.
so they added a new addition, and that addition was what was happening in the streets. That movement, because the clubs needed to be filled, and so then they started plating our records. And you see groups that don't even really represent us, but some people will say, like Sugar Hill Gang, right? These type of groups of people get uh, sucked in to the corporations. But then what happens is, once those first records were being played in clubs, the Latin Quarters and all these other places, Fever Disco Fever in the Bronx, who was run by Sal, an Italian, right? It became a venue for us. And then we were making some money. There was a dude, a good dude that I'm going to bring on. His name was Vasquez. Vasquez did a lot of parties, right? He made money on parties, and he made parties he did it in the late 60s and 70s, Vasquez. And so for the first time, Black people were starting to make money, and we needed to make more money. Agreed. But so this thing happened in the Bronx. So you have DJ Kool Herc, he's from Jamaica. You have Africa Bambaataa. A lot of people think African Bambaataa is FBA. He's not. He was born Lance Taylor. His father was from Barbados. His mother was from Jamaica, right? Grandmaster Flash, Joseph Sadler, and I'm cheating. I'm reading off of my work, my writing, right? He was Bayesian, right? And then we have this whole nother generation, which becomes rap. You have people that, wow, really well known, Notorious B.I.G., right? He's from Jamaica.
Yeah,
Busta
he had some
Rhymes, I don't like
suspect.
him.
Yeah,
I don't like to mention his name, because he's one of those people that causes this problem uh, with his rhetoric. But he's from Jamaica. Heavy D and the Boys. Heavy D, he's
yeah. I
Jamaican.
like Heavy D, but Notorious B.I.G. He has some suspect bars, man. He has some
Well,
homo
is it because of
pause.
him or the music industry?
Nah, it's because of him. Because at that time, that was super unpopular to be talking about stuff like that, and it was unwarranted. He'll just say it for no reason. Like his song would be like some
Where you
dance.
from?
I'm
Unbiased.
from Jersey.
You from Jersey?
Yeah,
Okay. I understand that. I understand that. But you before, which bars? The sexual bars, or the which bars are you talking?
yeah. I mean, straight pause. Straight. I don't want to say, it, but you straight pause.
Give me one of them, for example. Give me
The
one of
girl
them.
looks so good. I suck on her daddy rod.
Okay. So yeah, he if he said that, that's problematic. Uh that's really
And that
problematic.
was a huge record too, by the way.
Yeah. Wow, I gotta read the lyrics on that.
Yeah,
But
that one.
yeah,
And ain't no,
now
and look, and that's just one. But he's like four other times. He, no, no, I'm talking about Reggie. I'm talking about for no reason, and I'll bend him over and get him from the back. It's like, where did that come from? You were just rapping about
I
Versace,
understand.
Louis.
I could tell you where a lot of this stuff comes from. It comes from prison culture. It comes.
Bro, Header, Mob Deep was not talking like that. Nas,
Who
Wu-Tang
was?
Clan,
Who wasn't?
Mob, nobody besides him.
Oh,
And
okay. But
yeah,
we can single his lyrics out, but I'm just telling you, we were hit by a huge prison culture where lots of black folks was going in and out of prison and coming back with this crazy prison mentality of being booty bandits and stuff like that. And then they found out that punking out a man ain't gonna tell if he's raped on the staircase or he
yeah,
gets
but
on
I
the.
might argue that that was Caribbean influence in hip hop. All
Okay,
that bully bandit.
you can argue that, but I say I could say that I would argue it is prison culture. Uh, but we can but the fact
Don't
of the matter
Caribbean people
is,
go to prison? Don't they go to
huh?
prison? Don't they go to prison? Caribbean people?
Yeah, they when they
Okay.
go largely when they go to prison, they shave off their locks and dreads and all of that stuff and
Yeah, they
become
start being booty bandits in there.
no, they become they they become they disguise themselves as Black Americans.
Yeah,
They leave a
and
lot of
then
that
become a
stuff
booty bandit, and we think that's FBA, and it'd be really them.
out. No, it's the prison culture, right? Because I'm listening to
It started from
Bronx,
somewhere.
for
See,
example, in the
the thing is,
Bronx.
brother Reggie. So you see what I'm saying? It's like they'll take ownership for something like hip hop that's seen as great, genius, but other things they bring to this country that's 100% influenced by them, they would disown it. Like
But
you know,
tell
they're
me
not
in
doing it.
Jamaica, for example, Jamaica, if you were homosexual in Jamaica, you could get killed. That
No, no,
culture
no, no,
came later.
no, no, brother Reggie. Unbiased sports is research as well. Okay, Jamaica has a high tolerance for those for sex offenders. Matter of fact,
At what period?
now
No,
they
now
okay.
I'm not saying I'm
No,
not
look.
saying now. I'm
So
saying in the
I'm
50s.
saying that's been yes, it's been they just finally dissing about it 2011. In 2011, because in 2011 they literally RAPE their women. There's no consequence, and the registry, the sexual registry is.
Exactly. No, it's been a long tradition of
But that's the
uncles and
2000s. They're
cousins.
still with
Of,
this degenerate behavior. Now wait, now watch this. Do you know the term baby mother? It
yeah,
literally
yeah.
comes from Jamaica.
Okay.
Degenerate
I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna.
having sex with everybody. And look, and they got a term called jacket, where a pregnant woman, any mini miny moles the dad. Instead of the guy who she screwed, she'll let me see who got
Well,
the
it's
best career.
good. What I would say is it's good that we track these things so we can understand the norms. But at the same time, when we track things from other cultures, we need to track negative things from our culture, right?
But see, but I'm positioning that what we think is negative that come from us, I'm telling you, I don't believe it was us. I believe it came from the outside and we took it and now we're the we hold the torch. For example, baby mother, if you ask anybody in the world where that language come from, they're gonna say Black Americans because we took that and we took the torch. But the roots, the etymology, the practice is Jamaica. So that was 1966. They had articles about jackets and baby mothers. Our
Okay.
1966 for us, we was largely married. We know what
Okay.
a baby mother was. So what
I
I'm
got
saying is,
that. And so that comes
so
with
hold up. So what I'm saying is, what you are calling potentially negative Black FBA society, I'm saying that might not be ours. That might be their influence on us.
well, listen, again, if we're looking for it, I'm pretty sure we'll find it.
Now,
But
this is what they're bringing. I mean, this is what they're, brother Reggie. If you look at right now and 20 years ago, if you look at podcasts in Jamaica, we have our talking points with Chicago and the King Bonds and our goofiness, brother. Their talking points be sexual offenders, jackets, the whole baby mom. This is what they talk on their airways. So I'm not getting this from America. I'm tapping in their podcast. I got hella clips. You want to see them? This so
Okay.
what I can show you is from everybody I'm showing you is going to be in Jamaica talking about it. Not in the U.S. I ain't talking about Jamaicans in the U.S. I'm talking about Jamaicans and Jamaica. And they even had an attorney on there explaining the confusion about why Jamaican men are able to just sexually offend kids, same sex, and women to little to no consequence.
Well, I think, listen, I'm not going to argue you up and down on that. My issue is that the oppressor and the oppressor raped children, right? Raped boys, right? Raped people that was married, right? I can look in I can look in our culture, right, to find that where we do it ourselves, but I would look at it in the kind of the area of exploitation of the oppressor, and he and she pushes this, right? The prison culture industrial system was a part of other parts which had to do with pushing the drugs in our community. And so what I like to do is the things that you're talking about, I agree. I have to look into it more further, but all of that comes with a mixture of cultures, right? And I'm not going to argue you that, but I'm going to say that Black people in America, we need to get ourselves together. We need to be more political. We need to be more concerned about the super exploitation that we're going through, and we need to do something about it to protect ourselves. So I'm more concerned about protecting ourselves, and the only scapegoat I want to deal with is the oppressor. And that goes back to reparations movements. So when we go back to FBA and ADOS.
Matter of fact, let me ask you about this. Let me ask you how you feel about this. Okay, so when we look at, because I know you talk to some FBAs, but when you're talking to me, the way I look at FBA, I make it real simple. I simplify it.
I'm gonna get some
Okay,
water. I can hear
okay,
you, but
okay,
I'm gonna
cool.
get some water.
So when we were brought here, whether you agree to the term or not, history is going to call us slaves. Okay, so we were once called slaves, and of course we don't agree with that term. You just said you don't agree with it, so we don't want that. Okay, then at another point we were called Negroes. All right, and this on the slave auction blocks, you see the word Negro there: Negro child, Negro male, Negro woman. Okay, so that's another term we were called. And then after that, we were called colored during segregation, during Jim Crow. And then after that, we were called African American. All right.
Well,
No, 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 no,
Black
no, no, no,
Americans.
no, no, brother. We okay. That's I'm getting to that.
What period are you talking about? Because you got to remember uh, Dr. John Henry Clark and El Haj Malik El-Shabazz, Malcolm X, created the organization Afro-American Unity. Maybe so we have had
But
many
this is what I'm getting at
terms.
though. What I'm getting at is that when you went to school and you had to fill out a census, you didn't see Afro there. You didn't see Black there. You see African American. Today, I mean, so on paper, status wise,
Well, my mother and
African.
father's birth certificate says Negro.
Okay, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, so I'm giving you a timeline. So at one point, we was called slaves, Negroes. We were called colored. We were called
Yeah,
African American. And on the side, we call ourselves Black. We call ourselves this and
right,
King
right. Our
on
own
the side.
terms. Yeah,
Right,
on
right.
our
So,
own
so,
terms.
so that's what FBA is. So what I'm saying is ADOS is being pitched as a political term in writing. So that's what Tone trying to do. He's trying to. That's the ADOS thing.
Yeah,
That,
but that's my point. So when we go back to FBA, right? When we go back to FBA is not at that stage. So
oh yeah, of course not.
when I talk to a person and they say that they FBA, I want to see, and they say it's lineage. Don't
Just
I want
like,
to see?
okay, if that same person say I'm Black in his lineage, would you disagree? If they say, "Hey, brother Reggie, I'm Black and that's my lineage," would you disagree?
Uh, I want to see what type of black you are before you call yourself FBA.
He just saying Black. He just like you said, James Brown, Black and I'm proud. Okay,
Oh, okay. That's
right.
yeah, so that's a label. For example, All right.
That's what
So
FBA
the
is today,
Native
bro.
Americans have something called the quantum blood laws, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And they break it down to like the 132%,
Right.
right? So in our situation, we have full-blown FBAs. I want to see that you're full-blown FBA. Then we have something called half FBA, right? That's as far as they go. But what about three-quarter and and 1/4,
Right.
right? FBA, right? Okay, that might mean something for reparations, right?
Possibly.
Who
Yeah.
should get reparations first? I would advise all people who call these people their names. If you don't are not able to show your lineage, then stop talking about it. Stop misusing the term, because you have the responsibility. Every one of us has a responsibility to know who our grandparents is, our great grandparents, our great great
That
grandparents.
might be a little unfair because when did these people show their lineage? When Jesse Jackson said you're African Americans,
Mm.
when did we show our lineage to prove we were African American?
Oh, it does matter when it comes to reparations and reparations
Oh
payout.
no, I agree, but I'm
Okay,
saying
that's what
that
I'm
I
talking
agree with
about.
that. Yeah, yeah, you got
That's
to
what
prove that. Yeah,
in street terms and communities, no, it doesn't
yeah,
matter.
and that's what I mean. So for the most part, when I say FBA, I'm saying exactly how you just said it. Street
Okay.
terms.
Well, FBA uh, has some meaning for reparations, but again, these groups of people have a responsibility to show who what their lineage is.
Yeah,
That's
for
my point.
reparations, right? And yeah, yeah, I agree.
If they want, if they want the white man's handout of reparations.
Ain't a handout. That's old.
You said what?
That's old. What do you mean handout?
They're not. First of all, they're not giving it to us. Again, we have city and state. We have city and state,
But we are doing like
city
a
and county
hypothetical right
reparations.
now,
Huh? Say
sir.
what?
No, because we were doing a hypothetical. We were saying if they was to give it out, you said they got to prove their lineage. So I was running with the hypothetical still. And
Okay. Well,
okay,
my problem is again is that do the work, like get into the organizations, write some papers, right? Argue it from an intellectual. I So when I get
but
like
we have
you're a
people
little
doing
bit
that though.
different. You're a little bit different. Mike Lowry is my dude. He's a little bit different. But I talk to some real ignorant people that don't know the basis of Black American history, even history that they call FBA, but they joined something. So my problem is uh, FBA has to do a little bit more work. Now, I
But
don't
Reggie,
know.
this is why we're going. This is why we're having this conversation, right? This is why I'm glad you joined, and you gave a 1808, this 1830. This is why you're here. You know what I mean? You're a researcher like me, and you're on a different degree. You know what I mean? Because you got the education behind you. But this is why you're here, bro. Like you're helping us do the work. You're giving us okay. They got a painted idea in their mind, and you're saying that don't cut it. You're saying, hey, you got to consider this, consider that, consider that. That's what these conversations are for. It's like, okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. Let's go back to the drawing board. Let's consider some of these things because what you're saying ain't just what you're saying. See, I don't look at it like just Brother Reggie saying this. I'm saying if he's actually right, you better believe the white man saying you need this. So yeah, so we look at that, but that's why you're here. And like you said, there's a lot of ignorant folks out there. I see them. And I'm not on that. So when they come over here, they're influenced a different way. It's like, no, I don't do the FBA versus ADOS. I don't do that. We all the same, you
Right,
know.
because we're not doing those things against our oppressor.
Yeah.
We're not doing those things against our oppressor. We're doing those things against ourselves. And that's my problem. I don't care what you call yourselves. To me, that's not the issue. My issue is when you start singling it out, right? Uh, uh, Black people, and at the same time, not having any organizational capacity to deal with the oppressor.
Now I don't see now that part I disagree because what I did was like I'm one of those guys, I research a different way, right? And as you can see, brother Reggie, I watch your stuff, right? When you go live on this subject, even hip hop, I'm tuned in. And I'm sitting there making clips. So not just tuned in, I'm
Oh,
making
you ready?
clips.
You ready? That's why I'm on your. That's why I'm on
Yeah,
your
yeah. So
show.
I'm making clips.
I'm still
So
gonna use the show that you did with Chief X
yeah,
when he was on. I like the clips that I get from your
okay.
show. I don't like
Yeah.
what Chief X is
And
talking
you can
about.
see when y'all was talking, I was very unbiased, right? I said, Chief, let brother Reggie go. You cutting him off. You dig? So I wasn't even, on that brother Reggie. Now,
Yeah,
now,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's why I thought I would have a conversation with you and the audience, and just to clear up some things. I mean, we wouldn't have this problem with black so-called immigrants, this whole discussion, if a black American called Booker T. Washington didn't fight to end the Exclusion Act. One of our best, great, young, smart, beautiful scholars, Dr. Tyree Wright. She wrote the definitive work, Booker T. Washington and the Making of Pan-Africanism, right? She was a Tuskegee. She was able to see the papers. She was able to see that it was in fact Booker T. Washington that helped defeat the African exclusion measure, and then black folks came in. The people that were coming in, there was no infighting that we made. And then after that, shortly after that, we have one of the largest. We had Noble Drew Ali's movement, but then we had Booker T. No, sorry, Marcus Garvey's movement.
okay. I got a problem with that movement because you said to Mike Larry that he was involved in civil rights.
I didn't say that Marcus Garvey was involved in it.
You
If I
sure?
did, that I was an error
Yeah, because I was like, wait a
because
minute.
Marcus Garvey movement was not civil rights. But if I said that, then I take it back. I made a mistake. But his movement used both blacks from the Caribbean and other places and blacks in America, right?
Now, I don't read that. I don't read he used. Uh, what I read is that he left the Caribbean. He came over here. He started his UNI movement with us, and then he wanted us to build an alliance for Africa. I was wondering why he didn't establish something with us in Jamaica first, or at least Jamaica and Africa first, and then come to us like some old triangular deal. Like, why would you come to us where you know little to nothing about us, you know little to nothing about Africa, and you're trying to build this alliance between the no-nots when you
Well,
are
he was
Jamaican.
following, well, I mean, to his father, he was following Marcus Garvey's Back to Africa, right? And Booker T. Washington, before that, was trying to establish a base in Liberia, right? And
Yeah,
so,
yeah, but don't you think Booker T. Washington would get in touch with Liberia's government first before he tried to get us to become illegal immigrants and just force our way there? Like Garvey sent his ship to
yeah,
Liberia, and
well,
another.
Garvey, they had different strategies.
Wait. Garvey's strategy was to defraud FBAs. You agree? Or African
Um,
Americans.
I don't think, I would not say that Garvey's strategy was to defraud. I think the United States securities laws weren't clear what Garvey was.
Brother, you got a license, not brother. Okay, when it comes to stocks, that's something I know a little bit about.
Well, maybe
Okay.
we have another conversation on Garvey, right? But there were,
No, but I'm gonna sum it up with this right here though.
okay, I'm
Because
gonna let you get
what
off.
about the
I'm gonna
ship?
let you get off on
Yeah. Because what about because I'm gonna need somebody to be honest about this. What about the Orion ship? First of all, his stocks, you couldn't liquidate him. You couldn't even he couldn't give you rocks for his
no,
stocks.
no,
Okay.
no.
So right. So he just because he had some printing background in Jamaica. So he
Mm,
came over here, he forged some stocks, and that's when J. Edgar Hoover said, I got him. So
mm.
and you got to license your stocks. And what exchange market was the stocks on?
None.
Right. So he's defrauding us, making us believe that money or something is back, oil, something, some type of good is rice is backed by these stocks. Absolutely nothing. But the main thing that got him was that he looked at the Orion shit and he told black folks, hey, buy this stock and you'll have a piece of that shit. And he never even owned it. So that's defrauding. That's mail fraud. Like the dude, that's scamming.
Yes, I do have that. Garvey didn't come up with that. People in his organization came up with that, but nevertheless, he's responsible for that. But outside of that, he
What
built.
about hooking up the KKK and praising Jim Crow?
Say that again.
What about hooking up with the KKK and then praising Jim Crow amongst them?
Okay.
That's cool at the very finest.
Yeah. I'm not going to disagree, but again, the Nation of Islam was trying to have a conversation with.
Yeah, and we be wondering like, why do you go to the worst of white society to build an alliance? Like these are the rejects. White society don't even take them serious. These are the
Right.
why are we going to the rejects of a
Well, these are
society?
problems in which we study. And yes, Garvey is responsible for, first of all, I mean, it would have been devastating at that time period for ships to leave the United States to go to Africa with thousands of people on, and those ships, some of those ships that he bought that wasn't even seaworthy. It would have been devastating if we would have lost so many people. It would have
But
been
why are
worse
we
for
even
us.
fleeing? Like, why are we fleeing? Like, so he's bringing that fleeing mindset over here. It's like, yo, why are we even fleeing?
Okay, these are well, okay, so why? Because it was a back to Africa movement, right? And that's my problem when I start talking about this FBA rhetoric, that they act as if there wasn't a movement for African people who were tired of uh, the integration in America, those concepts, to go on a path themselves and to leave white America. And so FBAs in their rhetoric, not all of them, but what I've heard is what they do is oversimplify things and make it an attack against Black immigrants, right? Instead of looking at some of the root causes. I'm not here. I'm
I
not
can agree
here
with some of that, by the
huh?
way. I can agree with some of that.
I'm not here to disagree with you. I'm
And
just
and,
here
and I
to
gotta keep reminding them, brother Reggie. I'm like, yo, we're not anti-African.
see. It's no we, because it's not an organization with a
No,
with.
but we call ourselves okay. We don't want
I
to call
know, but
ourselves.
you don't have an organizational structure.
You don't need to because we call ourselves black without that.
No, you do. You do when you're doing something like reparations.
No,
You need
okay,
an
wait.
organizational structure.
Say, brother Reggie, what? Okay, this is the problem. The problem is you have Tone, you have Yvette, you have Dr. Claude, you have
So,
Sandy,
right.
you
Yeah.
have Terry Nasheed, who's arguing for reparations, right?
Doherty, and you have Doherty. You have
Yeah, I said yeah, Sandy. Okay, so what
you
I'm
call him
saying is,
Sandy.
bro.
Oh shit, that's Sandy White.
So what I'm saying is, brother Reggie.
You call him Sanity, not Sandy, not Doctor. Okay.
What I'm saying is that, brother Reggie, some Black Americans don't believe we will ever get reparations. So they're not even on board with that. See, you're making a mistake. You're making a mistake because these people we just named are arguing for reparations. You're making a mistake that everybody who think they're FBA, Adolf Friedman, you are making a mistake that they believe this is a real thing.
I'm not making a mistake because it's not organized. There's no preamble. Like when Malcolm X and John Henry Clark created the Organization of Afro-American Unity, they set out their goals.
That's what so Adolf did that though. See, that's the thing. Like you keep separating
ADOS did
FBA,
that, but
right,
I'm
right.
talking
But
about FBA. That's why you got
but you
me on the
just
show.
FBA are saying
Look
what
on your
you're
screen, Foundational Black Americans.
right. And what you're saying is what we're saying. We're saying we're agreeing, and you're like disagreeing. We're saying we're not. You're saying it. We're saying it. We're not an organization.
Right.
So
And
why are
if
we
you
still
don't have
arguing?
an organization and you don't have a plan, that means you can't control the mouths. You're not controlling the mouths of people who saying we are part of it. So that allows groups of people who are how can I say, on the other side to infiltrate
Infiltrate what?
and all you could just say is, oh, you're not FBA. And they say, yeah, we FBA. We FBA by your loose definition. There's no control. There's no way to vet provocateurs and other groups of people who come in. There's no way. So what happens is we have an
But come in
organization.
and do what? No, no, no. See, again, no, no, no. You can only infiltrate an organization. If there's no organization, there's nothing to, like, for example,
Oh, social media. That's the problem. So you have people on who are saying that they FBA, will never show you their lineage, got a
Brother
lot to
Reggie, what's
say.
the difference somebody saying I'm a Hebrew Israelite, I'm a whatever, like what
I
a
argue
more.
with these nuts all the time.
No, no, but what I'm saying is like some are part of an organization and some say they're Hebrew Israelite and they're not part of anything. They
And I
just saying
argue with them all the time.
no,
I
but
address them. They're converts. They're converts. They're angry
okay.
Christians.
So look, what I'm saying, okay, so I'm trying to show
But
like
you
some
do
type of
know, you do know that I'm critical on a lot of groups that don't make no sense, right? Like these people don't even know that their Yahweh is a South Arabian god.
wait.
They don't
Now,
even
now
know
they're gonna
that.
attack you. They're gonna get you
No,
now.
I'm attacking intellectually. They don't know where Midian is. They don't know where Shear is. They
But
don't know that all that stuff is
brother
that
Reggie, what
the
I'm saying
Amalekites.
is,
They don't know that's in South Arabia. They believe in a South Arabian God, and then they believe in Christ, and there were no Christians on the west coast of Africa that was enslaved.
brother
I
Reggie,
argue with them. Listen, I argue with the Moors. I respect the Moors because they let me talk to them. We had a disagreement.
you got Hebrews like you could talk to Israelites.
Uh, 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 um, uh,
Your
I'm in
problem
New
is
York.
one West. Your
Yes
problem
or
is
no?
one.
We can have. Listen, I went to school with General Yohana.
Yeah, you talk. Okay, good. You're talking about one West. Okay, there's Israelites that hate one West,
Oh,
that don't
there's
believe the white man's the devil. They
which
don't believe Africa
Israelites
is
hate
king,
one West?
huh?
Which ones hate one West?
Okay, you have
What Yahweh ben Yahweh's
no,
group?
no, 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 not them, not them. Like for example, Shabar for truth, Shabar for truth. You have like I talk to these guys on a regular. You got so real, SSO real.
Yeah, I
So
know, but they're the foundations of who they are, except for those people in Demona, right? Those groups of people in Demona, they babies of ISUPK. They believe in Crawley, FS Cherry, right? Um, they Abba Bibbins. They just have other organizational structures. But if it wasn't for Crawley, FS
yeah,
Cherry,
yeah. They were before. I'm a business, and they didn't teach that exclusive hate the white man doctrine. That's new.
oh no, Crawley, and FS Cherry. Oh no, they didn't like
What
the
they
white
teach,
man at all.
huh? Okay, let me ask you this. According to now, brother Reggie, listen, man. I know the doctrine, right? I know the groups, all right. I know the Bible, okay, verses, right? Because I debate them. I defeated Captain on Sunday TV, and the voted for me. All right. I read Greek. Okay, so who did they say the white man was biblically? Cherry and them. Who? They didn't say
Um,
Esau.
well, no, what they did
Right.
say was that what they did say is the white man cannot be Israelites because of the breaking of the laws. That's what they did say. That's what they
But that's
did.
biblical though. That's biblical. Like that's
Yeah,
Romans
yeah.
11.
But my problem is, hey, look, it's um,
That's Romans 1. That's Romans period.
right. We
That's
don't want to
biblical.
get down to fairy tales,
All right. So
right?
let's be at the FBA. All right. So Brother Reggie, what I'm saying to you is this.
I don't want to get down. I don't want to be talking about fairy tales. I listen. I'm in New York. I see the old real One West, right, which is the Torah school of Matthew Whitworth, right. I walk down the street and see the new One West, which is uh
Captain.
yeah, which is
Johanna.
on the side street on what is it? Madison, or is it on it's on Madison Avenue, right? I know this, I know who the seven heads are. I used to go downtown and listen to Aria and the Seven Heads and Jerry Johanna. We went to high school together. That's my brother from Castle Hill, and he gives me a light pass, not a full pass, right? Because we grew up, and I knew General Johanna. He ain't sell drugs. He wasn't involved in that in my neighborhood. He didn't do that. He was a straight up good dude, right? In
Okay.
my neighborhood. He didn't do none of the stuff that I was involved with and my people was involved with. He ain't do none of that. My young folks are sex, money, and murder. He knew those groups of people, but he had nothing to do with it. I live across the street from the person that they killed, Frisky, at what's this club? It just escaped my memory. It was in the 70s. What's the name of this club that they, and I know I have an idea of who killed them. Sweetwaters, right? And I have an idea of who killed Frisky, and I know why Frisky was killed, and then the emergence of Pete and those people that called themselves sex, money, and murder, right?
Hmm.
But and that was that well, it wasn't completely it was a Bronx thing, but they did turn blood, right? But the fact of the matter, getting back to it, when you don't have an organizational structure, you could be infiltrated. You should
Right.
have an organizational structure. So maybe that's something that they have to do, and maybe I'll be
Okay.
a little
So
less
what I'm
critical.
saying this, okay, I heard what you said. What I'm saying this, if enough people say there's something, regardless of organization or not, guess what? They will ultimately be called that. Just like right now, as an application, it says black now. It used to be
I
always African
understand.
American. Okay, wait. Let's
I
get the point out.
understand that,
Hold on, but hold on.
but
But this is for the chat too. Black, that was not what you put down. That was not down on the application or your status in school. You were African American, but we called ourselves black over African American. If a cop say, "Hey, what happened?" or that black guy, or teacher, "Hey, the black guy, black." So like, what the hell is black? Now they're forced to put black on these applicants, these applications for the applicant.
okay.
Black forward slash African American. And we're saying is if enough of us consistently say we're FBA 10, 15, 20 years now, and we call the cops or talk to a politician, we acknowledge us as FBA, they're going to start addressing us exactly how we want to be addressed. And they're going
I
to be
don't
saying,
disagree
those
with
FBA,
that,
those
but
FBAs.
that's listen, gangs function that way.
Yeah, I was going to say Latin Kings. They're going to say those are Latin Kings over there.
Gangs function that way. I'm just trying to say, if you want to be a part of the reparations movement that's already, then incorporate yourself. If you don't incorporate yourself, just organize yourself, and then have some definitions
Yeah,
where
yeah.
people.
What you said right there is nothing wrong with that. What I was trying to explain to you is that there's a two-part conversation. So there's a reparation
Okay,
conversation
well,
about FBA, and
I'm
there's a non-reparation argument about FBA. Just
well,
a
I'm
daily
saying that.
acknowledgement,
Okay,
self-identification.
um, Ah, wow. What I am saying is that the reparations movement has been started way before them. Now
Yeah,
it's morphed into city and county, right? Less emphasis is on the federal. I think that people understand that. I think, but at the same time, it's already going on, right? There are cities and counties that have reparation structures. I'm just trying to say is now the grassroots people can be involved. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with that. But if they want to help organize themselves, give some real definitions. Because if you go in there and start talking about 1526, you fail the state of claim. Now I know about failing the state of claim.
but they probably they're brother Reggie. What you're doing is unfair. The people who you talk to, the FBA you talk to, they're not talking about what you're talking about at all. They're saying FBI as a self-identifying term.
You said
They're not.
FBI?
No, I said. Did I say that? FBA.
Yeah, you said
So,
FBI,
oh, my fault.
which which is
No.
how which is how our movement.
Right, but you said civil rights and Marcus Garvey. All right, so both of us.
I didn't say that,
I
but
clipped it. I clipped it.
play it.
Um,
Play the clip.
Let me see. Might
So I
lag.
can apologize to the public. While I'll be right back while you finally clip because I'm 59 years old and I
Let
drink
me
a lot
take.
of water. So you
All
go
right. So
find
if
your
I say
clip.
FBI, because that's probably, that's a more popular term. So it's a slip of the tongue because I was definitely going to get you on that one. But anyway,
No, get me, get me. So
all right.
the
But
difference
but
is that
I want to get to my point though. I want to get to my point.
no, you go find a clip while I come back.
All right. I got it. I got it. Let me get my.
What you
Now I got to
got
get.
there?
Now I got to get up and do all this. All right. Hold on. Got to do all this extra stuff now. Okay. Let me get that for you. All right. Let me find it. See, I wasn't prepared to do all this. What was that? I got signed into studios. LCK piece. Um, Mika said Reggie was a bad. Yeah, Reggie talking like he was in those streets, man, putting in some work.
Listen, go watch the prequel of Sex, Money, and Murder. Go watch prequel of Sex, Money, and Murder. It's on YouTube, and you will see me and my projects, and you will see. Look, I know my projects very well, and I'm respected in my project, not as a goon, but somebody.
Right. Now I believe you, brother Reggie. Yo, first of all, let me say this. I could show you clips where we spoke like 12 years ago when Sanet just had to call in. There was no what we got now, where we were speaking. When you were shouting me out, you didn't even know it was me as a Nation of Islam member. And then I got a clip where I was a
You
Hebrew
was in the
Israelite.
Nation of Islam?
Yeah,
Oh, damn, Unbiased Sports. What
yeah.
was your name?
Well, X, X Harrison X. Okay, so I got my X too. Now we were talking then, and then when I made my transition to the Israelites,
You
you were
was an
shouting me out.
Israelite too?
Yeah, and you were shouting me out because I called in, and you was like, "Yeah, keep it real, Israel." You know,
God
that,
damn,
that was
you was a Nation of Islam and then
yeah,
Israelite. Goodness
yes.
gracious. What else? Now you Unbiased Sports podcast
That
and
was
you
it.
FBA.
And by the way, I'm only unbiased sports because I caught inside of the channel TV. Well, I was typing in the chat, and I was instead of my Hebrew Israel account, I was under my because this was normally a boxing channel, and I was chatting, I was popping trash, trolling in the wrong account. So it was supposed to be Keep It Real Israel, but I was popping trash in my unbiased sport boxing account. So he was like, Unbiased Sports, call in. And that was so I called in. I said, Yo, Sanetta, my name ain't Unbiased Sports. It's Keep It Real Israel. But it already stuck. Everybody was calling me that. You were calling me that. It was over.
Yeah, he
So I,
called me yeah, so like he called me Dr. Reggie.
yeah.
I've always been Brother Reggie, but he called me Dr. Reggie. But that's another story. My problem is, do you have the clip?
Yeah. Y'all didn't put the uh on this
Well,
video.
the important thing is let me explain something about provocateurs, the FBI,
I could find
and
it, but it's gonna be a
so I'm
skip
gonna
of time.
explain something to you. Okay, all it takes is 5 or 10 bad apples, right? Under the banner of FBA, right? And do something wrong or heinous. And then you open yourselves, every member opens themselves, everybody that's calling themselves FBA opens themselves up to, right, a RICO issue. Again, why? I'm just saying it would be better. Look, I'll stop fighting when you organize yourselves and you write something down that makes sense in history, because it don't make sense in history. It sounds like the Hebrew Israelites, right? Anybody can join and say that they're a Hebrew Israelite. Anybody can join and say that they're more, right?
Mika gonna get you.
Huh?
Gonna read those comments. Mika gonna get you. You talking about anybody can do that to Israel? She gonna get you.
Listen,
She in the
listen.
chat.
If I would have been gotten, I would have been gotten. I didn't. Look, I'm pretty well known in a lot of circles. So, FBA dudes, I ain't, look, you Johnny come latelys, right? But if you wanna, if you have the opportunity to just have a conversation with me, to discuss with me. I want to see how freaking smart you are, because I'm gonna ask you for your lineage. Don't tell me that you
The
got a lineage
paperwork.
and, and can't show me your great grandparents.
You gonna
I'm
get
not
paperwork?
listening to you, nuts. I'm not listening to you. What you're saying is you don't know who's in your family.
Okay, brother Reggie, I found it. You want it now?
Yeah, I want it. I want it now, so I can
Okay.
apologize for my misstep. Go ahead. Shout out to them if you want to call them Booker T. Washington. They get cotton.
And he also said, Margaret.
No, just play the clip.
No. That my fault. That was me commentating. My fault. Hold on. Let me go back. I thought that was you, but that's me repeating you. So let me go back. Yeah, no, that wasn't me live, just talking. That was me on a video. Because your video doesn't have clips and your video doesn't have uh
Okay, so let's move
transcript.
on. So
Okay,
let's
yeah.
move on.
I'll find it. But while
Yeah,
we
you
talking, I'm gonna
find
look for
it.
it.
You find it. You send it to me. Whatever the case. Okay, so what is Pan-Africanism? A lot of fighting has been going on. Pan-Africanism doesn't work. Pan-Africanism fundamentally means the unity of all Black people, all African people, right? Fundamentally, that's what it means. It's just an idea. It's also not an organization, though there was Pan-African conferences and stuff where people spoke and people call themselves Pan-Africanism. But guess what? It doesn't move the needle. It doesn't move the needle. It's just people identifying with it. That's a problem with Pan-Africanism, right? Um, uh, the Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. John Henry Clark, he made an incredible statement uh, about. Let me just see where he made the statement about that people should not. Let me just find what he says instead of talking about it, so I can see what he share with you what he said. Now you say that you actually say that I'm low key FBA. No, I'm a Black nationalist.
Okay, let me ask this. Would we call you that?
You would want to use me, call me anything. What
No,
you
I don't
would,
really care. First of all, brother Reggie, I always say I don't ask nobody who their daddy is or their mama is. I'm about information only. I care less.
but then
But
but if you're a foundational Black American, you have to state a claim to reparations.
yeah, but why we
You have
can't?
to state a claim. You have to show that that the bulk of your family, right?
Right.
It's, you can't assume it
But
in
brother
law.
Reggie,
You can't assume it.
no, brother
You
Reggie,
gotta
we
you gotta
all
state a
agree
claim.
with you, brother. But guess what? I'm not responsible for Joe Schmo. I'm not responsible for Samantha. They gotta hold their own nuts proving their lineage. I'm gonna do my part.
Okay, then stay out of the reparations argument because it's a legal argument, and in a legal
But
argument,
we're both though. We're ADOS politically. We're FBA on some old like I'm black and I'm brown, some James Brown type stuff. That's what it is, bro. That's the
you
reality.
setting yourself up for the five to be for $5 FBAs, like the $5
I
Indians.
think Tone and his crew are pretty tight
That's
knit.
not FBA. Stop
That's
talking
but we're
about ADOS.
both. We're ADOS, we're FBA, we're freedmen, and we're black Americans.
We're not freedmen, right? We're not you are you in the ADOS organization? No, you're not in the ADOS organization, and FBA has a lineage.
Wait,
You're
so
not
let me
in
ask you
any of
this.
those
No,
things.
you're right. You're right. I'm not an ADOS organization, but let me ask you this, brother Reggie. What is the requirements to be part of the ADOS reparations movement?
To be part of the organization.
I know, but can a white person just be a part of it? Can an African just from Liberia just come, or Nigeria or Somalia just come and be a part of it, or do they have requirements?
Yeah, they have requirements.
And so wouldn't some of the requirements be that you have to prove your lineage?
Yeah, you should that should be part of the requirements if
Okay,
you want to be
so
part of the
when
organization.
things get shaken and hey, bring that application over here.
Yeah,
When
sign
things
out,
get
create an
shaken,
application with a definition. I'll be a little bit more easy on you. But to say that you just a movement or feeling, a body,
we're an expression. We
an
want to be
expression.
called this. We
Okay,
don't want we don't yeah.
expressions should turn into something organizational.
He keeps okay, look, I'm not even disagreeing with
Okay, don't. So let's move on.
you. Okay.
All right. So, um, and I don't know where to go because I look at legal challenges of reparations. I look at the case law. I look at I write about it. I learned from the farmer Pellman's case about uh, about what states a claim and why it failed. And then I see a lot of people following. Tariq Nasheed is the spokesperson of FBA. Um, Following a one person without an organization is always problematic, even if the person is a good person. It's problematic. So I have a problem unless they were kind of elected to a position and stuff and you choose. But generally, right now, again, I'm not going to say anything bad about
A lot of
Tariq.
FBAs, brother Reggie, a lot of FBAs don't necessarily follow Tariq like that.
See, that's the problem. But he created the term, he
Okay.
created the movement.
So did Jesse Jackson. We don't follow him.
Um, okay. Uh, a lot. How can I say? Jesse Jackson ran for president of the United
And we ain't
States.
vote for him.
No, not all of us, but he
Shit.
ran an
Us.
organization.
Right. And we didn't join it.
Um, a lot of
But he
people
still
joined
called us African American anyway.
Rainbow Coalition,
Yeah,
right?
and right. And we don't support that. We don't donate it. We don't fund it.
Well,
We don't acknowledge
before,
it.
right. I'm just trying to think of his what is his name? Walter, his campaign manager who also ran, who I was a not an instructor, but like a lecturer for us. Out there. So where are we? Where okay, so I'm gonna tell you where I am in, right?
Okay.
I'm in that the problem is with this group is that they want to separate out the African identity. They want to their thinking, FBA thinking is more like a integrationist movement with perks. Give us reparations and fine, right? I have not seen them in any of the major movements that have to do with social justice. When they do that, they're part of other organizations. They may call themselves FBAs, whatever that is, but I just think it's a loose knit group. Now, I could talk to you on Unbiased Sports, and you've been in organizations.
Yeah.
You told me two organizations that you've been in with structure.
And 5%. Now they're
Oh,
not
you was a
researched like that.
5% of
Yeah.
two?
See wisdom. See wisdom a lot.
Oh man. Okay, but at least you joined.
I was
5%,
searching, bro. I was searching.
5% is an organization. What your
Okay.
name was?
See wisdom a lot.
See Wisdom Allah.
Yeah, with a Z, not an S. Yeah.
You was a 5% before Nation of Islam?
Nah, afterwards.
After the nation.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Because
I just have a
the
problem.
nation wasn't really, in my mind, they wasn't really like appealing to the masses, right? We got to look a certain way, and the masses really wasn't feeling that. But the 5%ers, they come at you how they come at you, the way they got to get to you. You dig? So if I got to wear baggy pants, if I got to wear braids, if I got to wear shades, if that's what it takes to reach the youth, I'm gonna do it. and the Nation of Islam was stuck on a certain look that I feel like the youth, maybe the older people, but the youth
Oh, look at the
wasn't feeling.
FBA. Pull up the FBA official FBA website.
I never heard it, and I heard you said to Mike Larry. No, this is Tariq Nasheed's. Look, I might have my own website. Guess what? Fresh in the chat might have his own website. Serious B might have his own website. Donnie might have his own website. The Watcher.
Hey,
So yeah,
that's my
so
problem. So if
this is
you
his
seeing it,
personal website. But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Do you think that as FBAs we should also register with ADOS?
no, two separate organizations.
No, the other one ain't an organization.
I mean,
You
two
said that.
separate thinkings. Sorry.
No, I
ADOS
don't think
is more of
so.
an organization, FBA,
No, but
and none of them are relevant when it comes to reparations.
but hold up. No,
None of them.
You said one is an organization, one is not.
Yeah,
And
one
you
is
just
just a
and you
movement.
just said one is like no different than a gang, like Latin Kings. But Latin Kings can join organizations. They could join the Black Panthers. They could join the Sunni Islam. They do it. They could, or the Bloods. They can you can so because
But
we're
the
not an
Land
organization
Kings
like
is a
this.
gang. So are
Yeah,
you a gang?
but no. What I'm saying is, brother
You're a
Reggie.
gang.
No, what I'm saying is that a Latin King member can join an organization. There's no confliction.
Yeah, but they are members of the Latin Kings. They take an
Okay,
oath. They take an oath. They kick people out.
and they could still join an
Unfortunately,
organization.
sometimes they kill people.
But they
I know
still
a
can
lot
join an
of
organization though. Like there's
Latin
nothing
Kings.
saying you're Latin King, you can't join.
No. You
Right.
just can't
So
join
what
the
I'm
Latin
saying,
Kings.
so
Everybody
FBAs,
can join FBA.
not everybody.
Yes, they can.
So a Nigerian, no. How can a Nigerian join FBA?
Nigerian could imposturize himself to join the FBA. You wouldn't know him unless he says it. All he has to
Right,
do,
right,
he could
right.
be online. He could be an online person with an avatar talking he FBA all
Okay.
damn day.
Okay. I mean, yeah, he can do that, but I don't know how
There's
far it's
no
gonna get him.
structure. There's nobody to say who's a member, who do we know?
Yeah, we do.
Nothing.
If okay, so the official, hey, brother Reggie, at some point we're gonna get to what you're saying. At some point we're gonna be like, yo, like in prison, where's your paperwork? So at some point, brother Reggie, we're gonna get there. But right now, we just trying to galvanize,
Okay,
put the
get
message out
there.
there.
Get there and
It
start
takes
whooping.
time.
Okay, well, first somebody's got to tell you that you should get there and stop being unorganized, do the work.
When they stop when they keep what you're saying, trying to infiltrate, cosplay, believe me, they're gonna push us to the point where we're like, yo, paperwork only.
Okay, that's for reparations, but we got other things, that we need to focus on. So, Dr. John Henry Clark, for those people who hate Pan-Africanism, Dr. John Henry Clark says, where it says, what is Pan-Africanism, right? So let me get back to what is Pan-Africanism. Okay. So, Dr. Clark, who you don't like because he's a Pan-Africanist,
Who
I
don't
guess
like Dr. I love Dr.
nah,
John
he's a
Clark.
tezer. He's a
No,
tezer.
no, 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 no. I gotta correct you because you're misleading. Okay, you're misleading the chat. I can't let that happen.
Well, they
Okay.
call me a tezer.
No,
So I'm
well,
a
okay, then
student of
they're
Dr. Clark.
wrong.
I'm a
They're wrong. But no, they're wrong. And guess what? Guess what? White people call me a name, and I don't blame all white
That's
folks.
my point.
No, but listen,
That
brother Rich,
anybody from
that's
who's
not
a FBA could call me
no.
a tezer.
Yeah,
Press one if I'm
but
a tezer.
but brother
Press
Reggie,
one
listen.
and tell me,
Oh my God,
wait, Unbiased Sports, help me out.
they're wrong if they do that, bro. Well,
Yeah, but
if they don't know your background for one, they don't know your background, and for two, if they did know your background somehow, let's say you were from Barbados, right? And if they think you're undermining what FBA is supposed to be about, like purposely misrepresenting the movement, purposely, trying to sabotage it,
that's what
derail
they think I
it.
do.
But
I'm
that's not
just not from
enough. No,
Barbados.
no, but that's
I'm
huh?
I'm more Black American than most people.
Right. So you can't be a damn tether.
Okay, but press one and Brother Reggie's a tezer. See, that's the point.
Yeah, but they'll be
Anybody else,
lying, bro.
they was
If
calling me
you're
tezer on the last two shows.
okay, but bro, then they'll be lying. If you are,
so some FBAs are liars.
yes, and some whites are liars, some Jamaicans are liars, some Japanese are liars.
Okay.
Yes,
All
you
right.
have that problem in
At least you
all
reasonable.
ethnic groups.
What is Pan-Africanism? Dr. John Henry Clark says it's time for Black people to stop playing the separating game of geography, of where the slave ship put us down. We must
Sure.
concentrate on where the slave ship picked us up. Africans and the Americans must remember that the slave ships brought no West Indians, no Caribbeans, no Jamaicans, Trinidadians, or Bajans to this hemisphere. The slave ship brought only African people, and most of us took the semblance of nationality from the places where the slaves dropped us off. Okay, that's what Dr. John Henry Clark said. But look, uh, it's getting a little late for me, and I could do some other things. But Unbiased, man, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. Just hit me with what you want to talk about, and maybe I can answer some of those things. And how's the chat going, by the way?
Great. No, well, lightly. I'm gonna say lightly. Nothing like you experience on other platforms. I guarantee that.
Yeah, because I'm talking unbiased sports and the fake FBAs who don't have a leash on them, right? Who want to say anything. They're out there saying anything. But and there's good people and there's bad people. But
Right.
that's my point. When you don't have an organization, when you was in the Nation of Islam, you couldn't just say anything
Now you
to
couldn't.
anybody,
You
huh?
couldn't. Nah, the Nation of Islam, you had a high standard, the way you behave yourself in
You
public.
had to get permission. Not no fake FBA. FBA can just wake up in the morning and call somebody some name and
Yeah,
ain't do no
because
work
you're
in the
looking
Black
at
community.
FBA differently than the word Latino or
Huh?
Mexican. Like you're looking just like a Mexican could wake up and say something crazy, just like a Japanese person could say something crazy. That's how we see FBA. We see FBA as just an individual who's part of this lineage or experienced this in this country, came from this place in Africa, and they have the right to be gay, to be straight, to think they're no genders, to think they're Muslim, Christian, atheist. They have the right to explore all those different ideas. They can be a Republican, they can be a liberal, greenhouse, they can be a drug addict, like, and you're still FBA. Like, it's not going to change.
Well, uh, um, uh, just a couple quick things. Read this definition you got up.
Oh, okay. So this is because I clicked it before. This is somebody's website. This is my that's what I'm trying to say. Different website. So it says foundational Black Americans have been a rising trend within only spaces, particularly due to their hardline stance of myriad of social issues and their tactics that potentially result in disengaging Black Africans from the voting process. Now, this is somebody's website.
Yeah, can you give me something else? So
But I was
FBA
just
is
trying
a
to show that
rising trend within online spaces.
I don't wait, say that again.
It's FBA is a rising trend within online spaces. Oh shit.
Uh,
Oh
in
my
in
goodness.
in a
Can you
way,
give me
but
another definition? You
okay.
online, you chatty patties. I'm not talking about you unbiased. I'm talking about the chatty patties. You making moves on social media. Yes,
All right, okay. So now look
crazy.
at this one. This one says this. Let me make this bigger. This one says but again, it's a website. It says
Yeah, whose website is this?
officialfba.com. And they said a foundational Black
Click
American.
it. Wait. First, where does it say bloodline heritage? Because bloodlines take us to the myriad of places in Africa that we was captured. Oh, those are the bow ties.
I heard you say that, and yo, you were dead wrong, bruh.
I'm gonna be dead wrong. You pick a picture where we're not enslaved, right? Look at it. You take a picture where Tuskegee. Where is this Tuskegee? You got a little part in your hair like the Nation of Islam. You got bow ties. Like really, like you definitely acculturated in American customs. That's foundational. That picture says 1,000 words. You got a little brother got a little flower on his thing with his
It's a
bow
nice
tie.
picture though. You got to
No, he
admit, it's a
got
nice
his
picture.
tie. My brother over there got a tie, and the other one got a bow tie. and they macking.
They're getting jiggy with it.
These are foundational Black Americans. What happened to Africans in slavery? These dudes ain't enslaved. Okay, come on.
Wait.
I like
Jim
the
Crow
women.
was
The women
Jim
cute.
Crow. No. There's a book I got by Doug, I think Blackman, Slavery by Another
Hey,
Name. And
listen, tell
you had
FBA
peonage.
to
You had
change this
peonage.
damn picture.
No, brother. He's trying to cloud this.
These look like integrationists.
All right. So, bro, he's trying to cloud it. You have what they call convict leasing, which is known as a slavery by another name, and you got peonage, which is known as a slavery by another name. So no, so yes, this is some this could be slavery still,
Yeah. How come? Wait,
especially if
hold
they're
on.
marginalized.
Show me where the damn picture comes from. Can you right click on the picture and say find the picture? Let's see, go where it says okay, where it says
There, okay,
no. You clicked the wrong thing. Go ahead.
but
There's
you
a
can find
right
that too.
click and then go down to where it says where it doesn't say share on Google to look for the picture. Create QR code, add picture to collection, share,
You can find it in the
screenshot.
page source. It's just gonna
So
take
I want a
a little bit.
source for this damn picture. Okay,
View
let me
page
put
source.
it up on my side. I'm gonna put it up on my side. I want a source for this damn picture. Tired of this. This is not who we are. This is who we became. Official. I'll do it on my official FBA. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna pull it up on my side. No, that's not how you find where the picture came from. So let me see if I can find out where the picture came from. So right click, and if I can see it, the picture should have a damn source. Search with Google Lens. Yeah. So now I'm gonna tell you where the damn picture comes from. So I'm gonna share my damn screen. It might be an AI.
Yeah, I gotta learn how to do that. The AI stuff, man.
Huh?
I gotta learn how to do the AI pictures.
Okay. So it didn't. I got to do the whole thing. So let me. All right. Let me pull up my screen. Show you how to do this.
Okay, go ahead.
Share. Here it goes right here. Because I want to see the source because otherwise you hijack the picture. So okay, so what I did was what I did what I did was this. Okay, wait. Let me get rid of this so I can show you where this is. And so it could be an AI picture, but let me see. Search. So you go down and it says search with Google Lens. So now search with Google Lens, and I am going to see where the damn picture came from, if it's on the web. So here it goes, and here it goes. Okay, so Foundational Black Americans, a site, that's where that picture is. And see a bunch of other foundational Black American pictures, and it's not so far giving me this one is close to it, Avery Research Center. Looks like the same groups of people, but let me just go down and see if we can find out where the picture came from. I mean, goodness gracious, source the damn picture. So I
It's a
can see
nice picture,
what time
man.
of
It's just
day
a nice
it
picture.
is.
It just something to look at. You know, it's a
Okay, so
happy moment. It's inviting.
I couldn't find the picture, so I'm just stop sharing my screen.
Yeah,
But why don't you
you being too petty and picky.
oh, you know why? Because Dane Calloway is being sued by a woman named Sayes, who Dane Calloway stole her picture, thinking that it was black and white, so it must be old. So he put it
Oh,
in his book on his cover,
really?
and he's being sued in federal court right now. Right? Sayes versus Dane Calloway. Right? It's in court right now in the Eastern District of New York. Okay, so let's go read this. FBA history. Read it.
Hold on, I'm about to. Okay,
Use
so
the Hebrew.
it
Use the
says
Hebrew. Read.
it says foundational Black Americans, FBA, are the proud descendants of the Black men and women who endured and survived one of the greatest atrocities in human history, American slavery. These resilient ancestors built the United States from the ground up, laying the foundation for the nation's economic, political, and cultural development. However, the rich
Stop,
history.
stop. Wait. So we built the United States from the ground up, laying the foundation of the nation's economic, political, and cultural development. How could that? We were enslaved. How could we do that? We were enslaved.
I guess he's saying like the people who got
Okay,
into
say it
these
right.
things.
Say that we were as enslaved. We built. Okay, next, go on. However,
Okay.
I mean, I do English, right? Okay. However, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. However, the rich history of FBA did not begin in 1619 with the arrival of enslaved blacks. And there you go, enslaved black people in Virginia. It began nearly a century earlier. And this is what
Okay.
you don't this is what you don't like to see right here.
Oh no, this don't make no sense. So in 1526, Spanish colonizer Lucas Vasquez de Ayllon brought the first documented enslaved black people to the shores, which is the South Carolina and Georgia coastline. Was this under the administration of the United States, or was this under Spanish rule?
It looked like it could.
Are we
The
suing
Spanish
the Spanish for reparations? No. Take
maybe
this
now.
out.
Hey, man, the lawsuit. Hey, the lawsuit starts somewhere, and then
Yeah, but we're
the
suing the
rabbit
United
hole get
States for
crazy.
reparations.
Yeah, for right now,
Nextly, shortly after their arrival, these enslaved
we're gonna
people,
get them too. We're
huh?
gonna get them.
Shortly after their arrival, these enslaved black people courageously revolted against their captors, leading to the collapse of the Spanish settlement. The survival Spaniards retreated to the Caribbean, leaving behind the liberated black people. Okay, so where did they retreat to the Caribbean? Where's the footnote? Oh gosh, right, right. And still we're not talking about United States reparations. These free black people now integrated with local Native American societies, marking a pivotal and often overlooked chapter in the lineage and cultural evolution of foundational Black Americans. So that line right there says that Native Black people with local Native American societies should get reparations, right? Which is stupid because we integrated with
Maybe the
them.
offspring. I think you might be talking about the offspring.
Yeah. Okay. We integrated with them, but they also enslaved us, the 5 civilized tribes. So we should sue
We're
the
gonna get
Native
them. Yeah, no,
Americans.
yes. We never forgetting. All right, we ain't never.
Never, we should
Yeah,
sue the Native Americans, the 5 civilized
we
tribes.
getting them too.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
sir.
Now keep reading. Since the defining moment in 1526. So you are defining the moment for FBA of people not in the United States. That's a failure to state a claim. It's important to clarify that Foundational Black Americans, FBA, is not a group or an organization, and
There
there
you
is no
go.
designated leader of FBA.
Thank you.
Okay. FBA is a lineage-based designation that specifically refers to over 43 million Black Americans who are direct descent. What is this? Who are
Direct
direct
descendant.
descent. Where am I? What is
Right
it?
there.
Who?
Right here. Right
Wait,
there.
yeah, direct descent of the freedmen.
Mm-hmm.
No, freedmen was from the bureau. You you got no knowledge of the difference between freemen and freedmen. We're not direct descendants of the freedmen because there were blacks already manumitted in the South and blacks already free in the North. So get this freedmen term out of it. The formerly enslaved black people who were emancipated in the United States, right? That's not all of us. All of us were not freedmen, and freedmen is just a damn bureau, the Freedmen Bureau Act. This lineage represents a unique and unbroken connection to the foundational builders of this nation. Okay, so most of this has nothing to do with American reparations. Because why? Because the date is 1526, right? Okay, so now we can get some hats. Go down the website. So now we can buy some merch.
Yo, we love dress and fly. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. Go ahead.
The hat's kind of alright though. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I might get this one right here.
You want to cop that? Go down.
Yeah, that's fly right here. This one right here. Yeah, I can see that. I got some Jordans look like this.
With the pink? You gonna
That's
rock
pink.
pink?
All right. But this one right here.
Wait,
No, no,
oh,
the black
oh,
one.
you was gonna rock the pink.
Bro, I'm colorblind. That look like red to me.
That's for a sister.
All right. Well, this one right here, I got.
You got that right there?
Yeah, this one right here.
What the purple mean? That look like
That's
LGBTQ.
blue.
That's purple.
All right, you know how it goes when you put it on clothes. It's gonna look different.
That look like some LPQ stuff.
Nah.
1526. FBA 1526. Failure to state a claim. Go down. Go down. Okay, that's a white hat, rocking the white with the
You know what I'm saying? The
with
all white forces.
I've got the whites that you can buy from the Africans. You know, yeah, the Nikes.
Yeah, man. I wish I lived in New York, bro. All that stuff, all that fake. I be buying all that fake stuff.
You well, no, don't buy it from the Africans. Buy it from
Shit,
where
no,
they
the hell
buy
I
it.
ain't. I'm buying it from the Africans. Again,
No,
no,
they get you. You
no, they don't.
buy it from the Chinese.
No. Well, yeah, whoever, but the Africans be like they the ones know where to set up at. The Chinese be in the warehouses. The Africans be on the streets. So I don't mind paying a little bit more to get on the streets. I ain't trying to go in that big warehouse. If the feds crack down, I'm in the warehouse.
No,
Nah,
no, they send it to you in the mail. Go down. That's where the Africans get
no,
it.
no,
Though.
no. In
I
the mail,
go,
you
I'm from New
you never
York.
buy fake stuff in the mail.
I'm
Never.
from New York. I cop from them,
I'm
right?
just saying, you never get
I
in the
go to
mail.
the
It's never
warehouse
gonna be what you want.
where the Arabs and the Africans, most of the now they doing direct shipment from China, but most of the time before that they was doing. Okay, so now these
Bro,
are
everything I ever ordered from China came long as hell and it was trash.
now they got local warehouses.
Okay.
I gotta teach you the game. So wow. So over here we got a brother and a family with a car. Cool. Over in the middle, we seem to have some organizational group,
That's right.
some church, and then over there, though, the one on the left, I can rock with that.
Thank
I
you.
can rock with that.
Thank you.
I can rock with that. That's
Thank you.
how that's what Southern people look like. I can rock with that.
Thank you.
Right? With grandma over there, yeah, I can rock with that. These other people, they ain't foundational, nothing. These are the one on the left, that's Black American. Let's go down. So now hard copy of FBA race baiter book, right? What's a race baiter? They are race
Well,
baiting us, or we the
that's a slur. That's like a epithet that they get attached to him, so he just owned it.
okay, so that's what they call him,
Yeah.
a race baiter.
Right.
Okay, so there are different races. Oh, that's a term, so I'm not gonna X-ray it, right? But there's only one human race. There's only one race, human race, but there are different African phenotypes. All right. My journey into understanding. Okay, got that. I respect. Hey, listen, I like Tariq Nasheed. I like his style. He can get a whole bunch of people on his game. Shout out to you, boy. You know how to, you got your game is airtight, right? Okay, so these are mostly integrationists. This looks like Integration America. We're the Black Freedom Fighters. Let's go down. Now we got the flags. We got the maroon flag. Wow, the maroon flag. There was maroons in America, or they Jamaican? This
Now
kills me.
I
Where
think
the
not. Yeah,
maroons are?
the Maroons. This ain't. Um,
The
I don't.
FBA maroon flag. Maroons is largely in Jamaica and Brazil and so we got a maroon flag. Now the axes and torch. Now we rocking where I'm from, Virginia, North Carolina. Not South Carolina. I'm not from there. Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana.
You see?
Okay. So that's the maroon flag. So there was there in Virginia, there was nowhere to run. There was no maroon societies in Virginia. You could cut that out, right? Now, North and South Carolina, you better get yourself north, boy. You better get yourself to Virginia. You better get yourself to Delaware, boy, and catch the Underrail Railroad. There's no maroon societies in Virginia, y'all, right? Except for if you want to talk about with the Native American tribes. So if you're saying that rocking with the Native American tribes or Maroons, I will accept that. But during slavery in Virginia, nah, you there's nowhere to run. Okay, so what else we got? Come on, come on.
That's it. Okay.
Oh, we got a sister with
Melanated. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Frances Cress Wilson. I never heard her say FBA. I knew her.
Shit. She ain't, well, listen, man. W. Du Bois ain't say Black American,
What did Du Bois say?
Negro, and colored.
That's right. That's right.
You a Negro?
My mother and father was documented as Negro.
But are you a Negro?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you colored?
My mother was colored.
Are you colored?
Not really, but my mama was.
Yeah, ready to be
Okay,
playing.
cool. Keep going down. Oh shoot, we got a red, white, and blue goddamn stars.
That is beautiful, bro. You can't lie.
What about our red, black, and green flag?
Nah, that died with that got deported with
It's
Garvey.
got too much white in it.
Nah, that got deported with Garvey.
Well, oh, because you don't like Garvey because he not FBA.
No, because he scammed us out of millions of dollars, literally. He scammed us out of millions of dollars. That's why I don't like him. Okay, he's a typical, yeah. But look, I never called him a tether. Okay, because he was proud to be Jamaican. So I never called him a tether, but he is a scammer for sure.
Is that all he was?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you can't come in here with some, some secret agenda. You can't cosplay like you down for the cause, but you got this secret scam. That's like brother sex offender guy.
Well,
You
you don't
dig?
even know. Listen, I'm not gonna say nothing because I want to stay on Tariq Nasheed's good side. I want to lightly criticize. Tariq, I want to lightly criticize you, my dude. I'm just trying to say is that a lot of people rocking with you, they look confused. Okay, so now
They'll get some straightening. For
they're gonna
talking
get
like the dialogues like this, they'll get some straightening.
nah, they calling me names in the chat. They still calling me names?
What, one person?
Okay. So let me show you. Let me show you this. Okay, so let me show you this. All right. This is more of a reality of what the hell was going on. It's more of a reality of stuff that was going on. I'll show you this and I'll show you a PowerPoint and then maybe we
All right.
go.
I still can hear you. I'm
I
about to
thought
let
you
the dog
came.
out.
I was hoping that you ain't come here to fight, and so you happen to be a good dude. You happen to be reasonable. God damn
Appreciate
it! I want to talk to a nut.
you. I want to talk to a nut.
I want to talk to a nut FBA who
Send one of those the brothers that be on your channel going crazy or cute butter. I want one of them.
he's not on my
Those
channel.
Caribbean brothers or
Shout out to
those are
Q Butter.
African. Huh?
Shout out to Q Butter, but he's not on my page, right?
Yeah. I want one of those nuts that be on his show or one of
He
those.
go off on me. Q Butter he go off on me. I'm like, dag, bro. That's because I could be affiliated. Okay, so this is the map. This is the map
Oh, one
that
second. I gotta let the dog out.
you got a what?
Let the dog out. You gotta be about to tear the house up. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, so this is the map that Abraham Lincoln used.
Oh, look. Hey, yeah, if I step away, brother Reggie, I got an iPad to still look at it. So I still can hear you through this. I still can see it through this.
All right. So, family, this is the map that Abraham Lincoln used in trying to understand his military assets during the Civil War. What he was trying to figure out is if the Confederate States would use Black folks, right, in their armies against the North. And at 1860, then the white parts, the lighter parts are where Africans were not enslaved at all. and the dark parts are where they were enslaved and the counties that they were enslaved in. And you see a large block of Africans enslaved during the illegal slave trade. This whole block here are Africans that came in through the illegal slave trade. See this right here? Why? Because 1808 was the ending of the slave trade that largely happened on the southeast side, right? But over here is a population of undocumented. And so the census of 1860, right? And Du Bois wrote his dissertation on the slave trade. If you don't know, the suppression of the African slave trade was the title. And here is, see if I can blow this up, is the census of Africans who are being acculturated into America. Let's bring this up, right? And who they are. So South Carolina's slave population as 1860 was, well, this one, yeah, 1790 to 1860 is 402,000, Mississippi 436,000, 333,000 is Louisiana, Alabama 435,000, Florida 61,000, Georgia 462,000, and I got this in the way. What the hell is going on here? Oh, what I wanted to do was, I don't overlay that. Let's get rid of this. So these are Negroes, enslaved, niggers, not foundational Black Americans. There ain't no foundational Black Americans. These are Negroes, enslaved. These are Black folks. And Delaware, Missouri, 114,000. In Kentucky, 225,000. And this is in 1860. So these are the groups of people. Now, one of the things that I did have, if Unbiased was, if I was talking to one of these nuts, is the
not Black folks, those are Negroes.
These are enslaved and Negroes.
Now, yeah, but Black folks didn't exist. And these are the
Blackies and Blackies.
No.
They were, because you got the Black codes. You have the Black codes for the Blackies. Don't say no. You're messing with the wrong dude to be saying no about, right? Why do you think they call it the Black codes? You're doing a Moorish thing with me, right? So let's just see what I want to talk about. Well, this is too much. What I did want to do is go back to my what do you call it? Now, one of the things about the Union soldiers. Now let's talk about the Union soldiers. The Union soldiers, where's this at? Okay. The Union soldiers, when they went into the South, they met Africans that did not speak any English. So where are we? Okay. What about Southeast? Okay, so this was my thing. Okay, so Africans coming from Suriname and other South America, Union troop testimonies that they encountered Africans. So I think I have that in my, let's pull this up. Where's my, yeah, let's pull this up. So my only problem is, hey, FBI, FBA, FBI, hey, yo, get organized, yo. Write something down that's coherent.
ADOS.
Huh?
We got ADOS.
Say what?
I said we got ADOS, ADOS.
They beefing.
No. Two individuals beefing. Just like Jesse Jackson, Dr. Khalid Muhammad's beefing. So what they got to do with me?
Okay, so I am not, I would have to do I would have to do a straight search, right? I'm gonna do a straight search because I can't find it. And I'll just do testimonials of Union soldiers encountering um, um, Africans that spoke little or no English. No, where it happened. What happened in my presentation? My problem is this thing with FBA. Why can't you say African? Does it something get caught in your goddamn throat? During the Civil War, some
We
union,
got African Americans. We do say African.
some you use foundational. You don't use no use no Africans.
Hey,
During the Civil
brother Reggie,
War,
we
some
use African American long enough. That's 40
soldiers
years.
encountered African Americans who spoke little or no English, particularly those who had recently escaped from slavery or lived in isolated communities. These encounters provided insight into the linguistic diversity among African Americans during that period. Dutch-speaking African Americans, I don't want to, but I did want to, I have a diverse linguistic background. The Union Army's diversity reflected varied backgrounds on its soldiers, including those of African descent. Approximately 180,000 African American soldiers served in the Union Army, promising 10,000%. I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. I'm gonna have to look for it in another repository. My point of it is, our lineage is African. That's our lineage. Now, our lineage is not some integrated, acculturated, homogenized, bastardized people. Those are what happened. Those is what happened during slavery, right? But the initial ones, they were Africans. So that's my point. That's my problem, erasing the African culture. And you have to do that so that you could target Africans. You could talk, and you want to.
I don't know who targets Africans, by the way.
Huh?
I don't know. I don't know who targets Africans.
Yeah, look at the shows that, I mean, look, you was, I don't know, you was trying to do stoopies real bad, bro.
No. See, brother
Who's your
Reggie.
man? Who's your
No,
man?
no. Brother Reggie.
Real
See,
bad.
what you didn't do was, brother Reggie. The first time, so the second clip I was playing, we were talking about the second part, right? The latter is later. We were talking about advice from lawyers, right? He was making a false claim that lawyers advise that you don't talk to the police under no circumstances. And you heard my point. I said, Reggie, that's a lie. I said, they tell suspects don't talk to police because you're going to incriminate yourself. I said, the public, you can talk to police officers. No. He went crazy. And then his first source, I played his source. The guy said, I advise my suspects, my clients, to don't talk to police. So his first link agreed with me. So that's how we do them. Yes, we don't play with people who just freestyle. Like, dude, I'm saying you're wrong, and you sourced up a video and you're wrong. And then later we were talking about FBA and what we're talking about right now. He came in with the energy. You didn't, brother Reggie. I already know your demeanor. You're cool, calm. You kind of like me.
No, I'm not. I'm wild. I'm wild when somebody says something wild to me. I dress them down.
Okay, but nobody said nothing wild to him. He came in with the rah-rah, and then his information wasn't standing up.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad I have a chance to at least show my point. On the answer to the people, did we lose our Africanness since we want to wear bow ties and ties? Well, if we look at the African burial ground in New York City, it yielded a variety of artifacts that reflects the cultural practices and beliefs of the enslaved Africans buried there. Notable artifacts recovered from the site. Shroud pins. The most common artifact was over 159 burials containing these pins, indicating the use of shrouds in burial practices. Most were mineralized and fragmented, suggesting they were used to secure burial cloths. Finger rings. Several burials contained finger rings, included plain bands and other elaborate designs with glass insets, buttons, forecast copper alloy buttons, right? Glass beads and shells. These items were included as grave goods reflecting African traditions, not bow tie wearing dudes, of burying individuals with objects that had a personal or spiritual significance. Tobacco pipes, Sankofa symbol, and miscellaneous. So in the African burial grounds, you could find elements of Africa there. You have a large amount of Muslims that that were enslaved, and we could talk about that. And they were African Muslims, and and then we also have this church pew of the First African Baptist Church, right? They say it's a dialect of Cursive Hebrew, and so that would probably mean that those Africans came from Suriname or Curacao, because that's where Hebrew slave traders came from, and they sold off some of their slaves. An estimated 30% of enslaved Africans brought to the Americans were Muslim, particularly from Senegal, Mali, Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Gambia. And they brought their Islamic faith there. Notable figures, Omar ibn Saad. He was a Muslim who his slave master portraized, right? And and you all watched Alex Haley's Roots, even though I think that it's fictional, right? But the fact of the matter is, we all watched that, and we saw Kunta Kinte being caught with other Africans on the ship. So why are we leaving out? Why are we leaving out the Africa for your foundational Black American? Why are we so concerned about the acculturation of what the European did to us? This is where I got it, huh?
When Jamaicans call themselves Jamaican, do they include the African in that name?
Say what?
Jamaicans, do they include the African in their identity?
I say yes and no.
Okay, what about Haitians? Because they're actually Latino.
Haitians are Latino?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay.
None of the diaspora as African in their identity.
Let's just see.
Haitians just say, hey, we ain't black, we just Latino. Y'all got your own thing going on. We over here with it.
I'll get back to you. I need to think about that. I need to think some things out about you. Make your point so I can research.
Yeah, so I believe Reggie I think he's gonna think about it. Not just that. I think Reggie gonna think about what I'm saying. Why we can't be FBA and ADOS, why we can't be part of the ADOS organization and still call ourselves FBA.
I think that I think is that ADOS started some but they failed. So we don't need any of those daggone groups for reparations, because reparations is already happening. That's just lip service. It's already started. There are reparation movements, right? We don't need ADOS and we don't need FBA for reparations. We're doing all right without that. All you're doing is just making noise in the street. But the hard work is committee work, lawyers, politicians, writers.
So are these lawyers and politicians, are they delineating, or they're all inclusive?
They're not even thinking about what you're thinking about. They write.
Wait. So Brother Reggie, so a Jamaican, a Haitian, a Panamanian, a Liberian, Somalian.
No, they're not those groups. These are Black Americans.
Who? No, I'm saying, are they delineating like the reparations? I'm saying, can
yeah, they are. They are in some areas. What they're doing, in some of the thinking, what they're doing is some of the groups are targeting just the Black Americans who were enslaved in their cities. They only care about in their cities and the counties. Right? So they are delineating based on, if you, I love you, but if you're not from my city and county, you don't have no residence, I can't help you. Have a nice day.
All right. So now in that city and county, whoever calls themselves Black get reparations?
No, no.
So,
Go,
are
go.
Jamaicans a part of that?
No,
Okay,
no, no,
okay, I
no,
got you then. I got you. I follow.
no, no, no. They're already doing the work. Let's see if do another search. Let's see if I
And
can.
I'm proud of them. And when it's done, I cut me my fair. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
from
need my check.
yeah, yeah, and so, but if you got to be a part of their city and county,
Oh yeah, well, if they doing like that, then yeah, I'll
right?
wait for it to come my way. Yeah,
Mhm.
no problem.
Yeah. So what I'm just trying to say is, hey, listen, they don't need your help. Y'all can't,
Good. Just cut me the check when you get done.
if you're part of their city and county, but
Right.
but as far as the construction of it, right? So give them credit. So give them credit because they're actually doing the work.
Oh yeah, I'm not aware of them. Like you're doing a good job. You're giving them, you're making us aware of who else is out there putting in work. Good. I don't got no problem with that.
Yeah. Let me see. Cities.
Now I can look them up, research them, and look into what they got going on.
Yeah, you should. Asheville. I'm gonna give you the list. Cities and
Can,
counties.
can, can you put it in the is there a link you could put in the
No,
chat
I'm
thing
gonna
right
put it
there?
on the page. City and
Okay.
counties involved in reparations. Cities and counties involved in reparations, studies and activity include.
I gotta go in about 10 minutes, I gotta head out.
Well, it's been a pleasure. I thought you was kind of calling me out, talking about I'm making bad arguments. This doesn't make sense.
Well, no, with him, this is what you did with him. This is the problem I have with you. You was talking about the 18th, it's the same list you brought up, 1830s, 1900s, and you were saying they're not FBAs, but then you'll call them Black Americans. I'm like, Brother Reggie, they ain't Black Americans either. So I'm like, you can't tell him he can't use a modern term and go backwards and call somebody that. I'm
Black
like, well, you
America is in print. FBA is not no damn print.
not
Ain't
yet,
nobody writing about it.
not yet.
Yeah, not right. Okay, so here's some of the stuff, and I'll add more to it. I had it. I don't know what happened to it. Call me when they're involved. Evanston, Illinois, the first U.S. city to implement a reparations program providing $25,000 grants to eligible Black residents for housing assistance. Eligible Black residents. San Francisco, California approved a reparations plan through funding was later retracted. Asheville, North Carolina passed 39 recommendations for reparations and is planning further community engagement only for North Carolina. I mean, Asheville. St. Louis, Missouri, considering reparations strategy. Providence, Rhode Island, implementing a $10 million municipal reparations program. Boston, Massachusetts, exploring reparations options. Uh, Tallahassee, Oklahoma, considering reparations strategies. Berkeley, California, exploring reparations options. Alameda County, California, passed a resolution to create a reparations task force. Fulton County, Georgia, passed a resolution and created a reparations task force. Kalamazoo County, Michigan, passed a resolution to create a reparations task force. Washington County, Michigan, passed a resolution to create a reparations task force. Shelby, what happened to Tennessee? Let me see, you left out New York. Let's look at what's happening in New York. Oh, I apologize for this confusion. I did not leave out New York in my, I did not leave, okay. New York State, Kathy Hochul signed a legislation establishing New York's State Community Commission on Reparations Remedies, right? New York City, where I'm from, right? Passed significant legislation related to reparations, established a task force, mandated the creation of a truth healing and reconciliation process, required the installation of signage near Wall and Pearl Street to mark the site of the first slave market, initiated considerations of creating freedom trails in New York, right? And so all of this was done by people in the communities working on reparations. I am so sorry, FBA, ADOS, you're not needed. You're not needed.
We
You're
are definitely out. I'll tell you what we're needed for, the message. Because what they're doing, nobody knows about but them. And what we're doing is we're bringing attention to the movement.
I thought I
So
just
we
gave
are
you
definitely needed.
message. You're
Huh?
bringing attention to what other people are doing.
Right, no problem. But
I'm
that
doing that.
no, but you need okay, like the civil rights any movement you got, you want it to go public, you want it to go viral. We're making it viral. Look, Fat Joe, you keep saying nobody knows who FBAs are. When Fat Joe made his thing, he ain't say Adolf, he ain't say Friedman. He said FBAs, and everybody now is saying FBAs. Ain't nobody saying nothing else. So we
Yeah,
made it viral.
I got that, but I got that. That's in the version of the urban hip hop and stuff, right? I got that. That's not the whole. That's not. The people are actually working on reparations, and getting it together. That's what happens on social media. That's what I'm saying. It's a social media group. It's a social media group. So look, I can expect chit chat on social media, but what I want to see writers and thinkers.
Bro, this is
I,
2025. Social media is a big deal now. It wasn't a big thing when
no, it wasn't.
Dr. King was
So
around. But right now, everybody, every politician tweet on social media to get attention to and awareness to what they're doing. Social media is a big part of people movement, success. Presidents, Elon Musk, everybody is using social media to get their message out.
that's true.
This
So
this is the new TV. Ain't nobody got cable. Nobody doing that.
you're right
NBC.
about that. So my webpage is Africa Online TV. Unbiased. Do I have your permission to restream this on?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So thank you so much,
Yeah,
Africa
so anybody,
Online.
I'm gonna say anybody, I got nothing to hide. You could click, share.
I have a small page. I have a small page. You probably won't see me on Sonetta's for a while. But so I have a small page, and I have these are
Put your
my
link in the chat. Put your link to your YouTube so we could look at it.
okay. So
Put in the
thank
chat.
you. I have a small page. Okay, where am I? Oh, here it goes right here. If I could blow this up, I can put it in the chat. Which, no, I didn't bring up your page yet. So this is Unbiased Sports, Unbiased Sports Podcast,
Yeah.
and I'll bring it up so I can put it podcast, and I will Stu Peace. Okay, so here you are right here.
Yeah.
And I'll reduce the sound so I could put up my go into the chatty patty, which I didn't do all night. I
And
didn't
that's why you were
because
focused and on point.
yeah, because I have to curse nobody out. Some uneducated person that wanna mess with me and didn't take a Black Studies class can't show me their lineage, right?
The paperwork.
Chatty patty, no paperwork. Can't show me no paperwork. So here is my okay, so here is my first of all, if anybody wants to donate, buy me lunch. Anybody think I did a good job, a reasonable job, support Brother Reggie, buy me lunch. Buy me lunches, anywhere between $1 and $5. If you got more, you really like what I said, buy me lunch. My page is Africa Online, and we're Africa Online TV, and fine.
Oh, so you all in on this African stuff. You all in.
I went to Africa in 1986 and 98, and 1986 and 87, bro.
Yeah.
I went to Africa where people was still in their dirty drawers.
Hmm.
Okay. Mika, how you doing, my sister Mika? Yeah, don't look in the chat. So that's how I get in trouble, Mika, looking in the chat.
Never
I
look
am
in the chat.
so glad that my sister Mika is supporting me. I love it when our sisters support me. These dudes, right, who doing their push-ups, who 22, 23 years old, acting like a man, right? But they're little boys doing push-ups, right? And think that they onto something. I have a problem with the sisters I'll take you anyway. That's my channel. So with that said, the watcher, hey man, peace to you. Knock is going to chat.
Hmm.
So one should never curse out someone in Discord. I get cursed out all the time. Every time Lord Abba comes on, he curses me out.
Nah, he didn't cut you out when you had DJ Phase on there.
Man, he called me a clown. That's the same thing.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Nah,
Khalid,
nah, he was wrong
boring
for that.
me.
He was
And let
wrong
me
for that.
tell you something, Khalid. And your research is boring. College is boring, right? It's boring. It's not exciting.
Oh, speaking of Khalid, Keeping Crisis said today was Dr. Khalid Muhammad birthday.
Okay.
But for those that
Okay. So
care.
I'm gonna stop sharing. I want to thank so much my good brother Unbiased Sports for hanging out with me today, and it was all right, Unbiased.
Yeah, it was good dialogue. I think very,
It was all right.
yeah, I think we
I didn't
got
go
somewhere.
bananas, huh?
I think we got somewhere today.
All right. So we'll find another channel. I definitely want to put up that whole thing with Chief X.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you know which video it is? Oh, it's the
Huh?
chemistry one, right? It's the chemistry one.
The one that Chief X was talking about this
Yeah, no, I remember, but I don't know which video it was. I think it
I'll
was
find it.
chemistry. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So with that said, family, let me just check. Anybody give me bought me lunch? Sure. Let me just check. Nobody bought me lunch? That's how y'all treat your brother? Do say I'm boring. Yeah, I'm boring. Yeah, I'm boring. Here, take this. Here, I'm gonna show you some. Here, no, wait, share. No, here. You see this right here? You see this right here? Yeah, what does that say? What does it say right here? It says citation of special congressional record. Yeah. To who? To me for my work, right? By, huh? Here. Here you go, right? By the congressman, right? See that? You got that? Nah, you ain't got that. You ain't got that. Here, let me show you this. Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture. Oh, he's not an FBA, yo, but he established the most important research center, one of the most important research centers in America, right? Arturo Schomburg. Arturo Schomburg. Where we at? Here we go. Here we go, right? What date is this? This is I don't know. This is somewhere in the 80s. So, okay, this is 91. See this right here? 91, right? See that? You see my name is on the editorial board, Reginald Mabry. In 1991, I was on the editorial board of the Schomburg Center for Research Culture. Yeah, you get there by being boring, Hear
Hmm.
about this. I'm not on the other channel because they said nobody wants to see my credentials. You see this? To the Supreme Court of the United States. I don't, right there. So this is a brief prepared by me. You see my name, right? You see this right here? Received, right here. This is the Supreme Court of the United States. I'm a writer of this. I worked in a law office for 16 and a half years, right? So, yeah, so boring is what we do. Boring is hard research work. Now you tell me, I'm so excited and I'm so thankful. My son is in the PhD program, his third year.
Congratulations.
Thank you, right? Why? Because his father and mother got him there. So you people, yeah, it's boring because you out there whipping your cars, you out there partying, you popping your bottles, you're not home with your children, right? So I don't care about all this ADOS and FBA and sometimes the Black Revolution in general. I care about what you do in the household for your children, right? I care about how you treat your woman. That's how I care about, right? But some of you dudes, you the master of your house. You lay down a law in the house, right? You slap up your women, right? You abuse and you don't treat her right because you're out there popping bottles, running around, joining things. So with that said, I'm by sport, you my brother. Thanks
Yes,
for
sir.
hosting
Likewise.
me.
Yes, yes,
And
sir.
let me see if anybody gave me a
Yeah, somebody said it got you for sure. In the chat, somebody said they got you.
They ain't got me yet.
Nah, they got you. Trust me, they're official.
Okay, if they're official. So anybody else got me? Wait, one brother got me for all his work, 3 hours. Hey, umpires, help your guests make some money, man, for lunch.
Yeah,
Tell your
buy
guests
brother ready some lunch tomorrow. You know, get a little.
tomorrow.
Oh, today?
Yeah,
So that's dinner.
I miss lunch messing with you.
Yeah, buy this brother something off the trucks. Get some good meal off the
Yeah,
trucks.
off the truck. Hey, I'm waiting. I'm waiting on bias. I'm the other
$11.
that I was on, they said I hold people hostage for Cash App. So I
All you
sit
need is
my ass for
$11.
3 hours and I hold the line, but they turn around and they say that I'm begging for Cash Apps and I'm holding people hostage. No, no, I'm not. I'm not holding you hostage. What I am saying is support your brother. Support the people that work for you. I just showed you. I'm proving. I can show you my articles. I can show you my paper. Look at this. I still ain't get no Cash App.
Nah,
Unbiased.
they got you, bro. Trust me. If they don't got you, I got you.
Yeah, no, I don't want you to get me. You gave me the interview. I want your people. You mad at me? Or you mad at me because what I say about FBA? That's why you don't want to give me no Cash App, right? I'm hurting your fantasy. Now I know I ain't gonna get no Cash App.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, with that said, I'm biased. Tell these people, man, they support your guests. Otherwise, we won't come back.
Yeah, we want you back because we got some more garbage to talk about.
Yeah, Garvey's a tough deal. Garvey's a tough deal. I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen, Unbiased Sport will probably beat my ass when it comes to Garvey, but I still respect Garvey, right? So with
Not
that
me.
said, I'm gonna have to gather up my pennies because this audience of yours is not supporting me.
Nah, they got you.
All right. So peace. Thank you so much. Right? And support Unbiased Sports too. Support him too. Support all the content creators that do this work. So with this said, and Mika, hey, thanks for coming in and checking on your brother Reggie. I appreciate it. So with that said, sorry family, you ain't get a cursing and screaming. You got grown man talk. Unbiased Sports and brother Reggie.
I
That's fair,
agree.
right?
Yes, sir. I
All right.
agree. We actually got something done today. All right, man. Peace. And I'm gonna close out with the rest of the video with me and Stu Pease. Okay. It's not long at all. It's not long. I'm gonna start from the beginning. So remember, Stu Pease was making the argument that you should never talk to law enforcement at all. And I don't know where he from, I don't know what part of Jamaica. I understand out there those cops be on some BS. But out here, some cops are actually good. And you need to build relationships with them so you don't have to have these weird, awkward moments with them. All right. So I'm gonna
A lot of us
Okay,
don't know that shit. They don't know,
can I
like they don't know how things came to be.
can I speak
Risking
now?
risking your life.
All right, dude, can I speak? I've heard you spoken. Can I
Oh,
address
go,
that illiterate?
Yeah, that's too.
go ahead, Stu.
Peace.
Let me address that illiterate young lady. Because first thing, it is unfortunate that when you look at a black immigrant, you tend to group all immigrants in the same basket. Just like how people tend to group all Hispanics in the same basket. Not all Hispanic is the same Hispanic. It's not all black immigrants are the same immigrant. You have immigrants from Africa, you have immigrants from the Caribbean, you have immigrants from South America, you have immigrants from all over the world who happens to be black.
Yeah.
No, this young lady is Haitian. And unfortunately, something that has happened in Miami over the last 30 years is that the zeitgeist has changed. There has been a fundamental shift that the first generation that comes into this country who pull themselves, open and close quotation, by the bootstrap and now lives in houses that value 500,000 and have their children now become me Negroes instead of we Negroes. If we go back in time and we look at a situation like the Harlem Renaissance, and Unbiased knows about the Harlem Renaissance. The Harlem Renaissance was in the 20s when black people from all over America and all over the world came to Harlem and made a fundamental change. They developed an attitude of how black people shall move going forward. Now, these black people that you see, these Haitians, they don't speak for everybody. They speak for themselves. What you're having now is a red pill argument in the black community, something similar to a red pill argument, where successful black people want to ingratiate themselves closer to white level of thinking. They're not thinking black anymore. It's not a matter of us versus them. It's not a matter of me and we. It's a matter of me. She's a me Negro. And you cannot use a me Negro to determine the outlook of every Negro that you see. Because we never normally operate like that. She's a me Negro. And you have me Negroes in ADOS and FBA too. You have me Negroes. That's the 2024 is the rise of the me Negro. I pulled myself up by the bootstrap Negro.
I didn't say
But
that Puerto
hold on. Where do you find the me Negro in the FBA's?
I didn't say that
Name one that you know.
Tariq Nasheed is a me.
Okay, my computer's okay. I give it tabs.
Where's Tariq Nasheed a me Negro?
Because Tariq Nasheed program is about Tariq Nasheed. And Tariq Nasheed has changed his program in accordance to what he wants, not in accordance to what the program wants. And what Tariq Nasheed was selling, let me finish.
Go ahead.
What Tariq Nasheed was selling 6 months ago, what Tariq Nasheed was selling 3 months ago, is totally different than what Tariq Nasheed is selling today.
Okay, describe it.
I don't need to describe it. You go and read. Don't come out. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
You just said he was selling something different. So what was he selling then that's distinct from what he's selling now?
What that shows me is that you're a cult member and not an individual thinker. Because if you're saying to me that I need to describe to you that Tariq Nasheed arguments are the same that it was 6 months ago, I won't have a conversation with you.
If I'm unfamiliar with what he was selling, I'm not as familiar with Tariq Nasheed as you may be. So I'm asking you, can you distinguish what from then is different from now? That's all.
And I will suggest you to go and do your research.
You can't make a statement and tell me go do research. You gotta actually come with the evidence.
No. I would say to you, because we're not in the classroom now, and I teach you.
Yeah, but it's not at the top of it's not at the top of your mind. It's not at the top of your mind.
You need now to go and do your research and realize that Tariq Nasheed argument.
You tell me to go and do my research without first providing me with the explanation of. It don't work like that, stupid.
I won't, because guess what? Just like how Trump has MAGA, and they don't waste time painting into MAGA, Tariq Nasheed has FBAs, who are cult followers.
FBA is not a group. It is used, as we just discussed, an ethnic identifier.
You want to call it any which way you want to call it.
No, I want to call it what it is.
Okay, you decide what it is.
No, that's what they decided. That's what they decided. I didn't decide it. I remember I'm not a part of this quote unquote cult you're talking about.
Oh.
You know how you're a Jamaican American? Jamaican, what you would use generally as your ethnic identifier? What will you use to identify me, who is a descendant of black people that went through U.S. slavery? Because I'm not Jamaican. I'm not Haitian. What would you call me? What am I?
You're an American.
I'm what?
You are an American who just happens to be black.
But what is my ethnic identifier?
You never think it that way.
What's my ethnic identifier? You don't just say, oh, he's an American because a person is American. What's my ethnic identifier?
What is ethnicity?
It's basically the
Let, let,
cultural group that you come from, that you share history with.
an
You all share
American,
the
and I said
no
it
a
a while
white
ago. You are an
no
American.
no, it's different. America has different, is made up of different ethnicities within it. White people are their own ethnic group, and black people in America are their own ethnic group. We used to just use the
If you
terms
were,
white. We used to just use the terms white and black, but it's become very diverse now.
let's be honest. Let's be honest. If you're
Right.
walking down the street, I like kind of people with this, you know. If you were walking down the street
Yes.
and you happen to be white, and I was supposed to ask you, what is your ethnicity? What would you say to me? What
I
would
would,
you say to me?
if I'm a white American, I would say I'm white. If I'm Russian, I would say Russian.
No. But
Say it
the
again.
average person, but what you're saying now is that you're not speaking the truth.
What do you mean I'm
Because
not
the
speaking?
average American, no, because 90% of the Americans who happen to be white, when questioned what they, when they're asked what are they, the only answer they give is that they are American. They do not say
No.
that they're white.
Yes, they do.
No,
What are you
stop it.
talking about? You're wrong. You tell me stop it, and you're wrong.
Yes, yeah. It's true. A lot of white folks say they're white.
They say they're white. If they're white, if they come from, if they just immigrated here, then they tell you, you know, their ethnicity according to their country. They say I'm Russian, or I'm German, or they'll say, you know, I'm Greek, shit like this. You got some.
Okay. My
Look at
apologies.
Look at
My
the white
apologies.
Jews. They don't say I'm white. They say I'm Jewish, right?
Right.
Okay, my apologies. My apologies. Because what I did was wrong. Let me rephrase my. Let me put the situation into one that I'm used to.
Okay.
As somebody who used to work at the hotels in Jamaica to pick up a small chains, when encountered with Americans.
Oh, then they'll tell you they're American, yeah, because you're in a different country.
Stop. When encountered with Americans, regardless of their physical characteristics.
Yeah, that's in Jamaica.
Well, let me finish. Whether the eyes want to be slanted or the hair want to be nappy, or they want to be blonde hair or blue eye.
Come on.
When asked the question, what are you? How do they answer?
You said when you were a manager at a hotel in Jamaica, right?
I'm not a manager. When I was working at the hotel.
Okay, when you were at the hotel, but in Jamaica, right?
Yes. How do they answer?
Oh yeah, in Jamaica they're gonna answer you they're an American.
They're going to answer that there?
Yeah, they're gonna answer American because there's a different social context.
So they're in Jamaica, they're going to tell you that they are the same person who black here, who have on the black, green, the black, red, and green.
Yeah, they're gonna identify themselves. They're gonna identify themselves with the country they come from. So they'll say, "I'm an American."
So ethnicity. So he's going to tell me
that's their nationality. That's their nationality.
No. You can't have it both ways, brother. You cannot have
it both ways. I'm telling you how they identify. They identify with their nationality when they go abroad.
Right.
There's a difference between nationality and ethnicity. A lot of people confuse those things. It's not the same thing. Nationality is basically the nation you belong to. Ethnicity is a cultural group you belong to.
No. When you're abroad, when you're going abroad, and you have other groups.
Yes.
The nationality and ethnicity are intertwined when faced with other groups. Because you're telling me that culturally. No, you know that, Tommy. Because when faced with other groups outside of your predominant group, you are now establishing that culturally, I am an American. You're not saying that I'm black.
You're establishing your nationality.
You're establishing your culture also.
Your nationality. You assume the culture, but it's the nationality which they're establishing.
No, I don't assume the culture. It's what you tell me. I ask you what you are.
Let me ask you. Okay, Stupies. Let me ask you this question. It's a lot of people that's born in Jamaica whose heritage comes from China, right? Okay, if they were to come to America and I was to ask them what they are, what would they say?
Jamaican,
right? And what is that? Is that their ethnic group or is that their nationality?
My cultural group.
That's their nationality. They are Jamaican. But if you were talking about these people ethnic group, if you use the same social constructs in Jamaica that we use in America, they would call themselves Chinese Jamaicans. The same way you properly would be identified as a Jamaican American.
Right, but what you're trying to force, and what FBA is trying to force,
I'm trying to teach you the distinction between ethnicity and nationality. They're not the same thing.
Dude, don't try to teach me. Don't try to teach me. Because
listen, you tell me don't try to, I won't try to no more. I offer it up.
Don't try to teach me.
But if I want to take it,
because,
no problem. But there's a difference between the two.
Dude, the nuances of it is that when we are in our group, when you're in America, when the pie is strictly American, you tend not to get very distinct with every slice.
Yeah, when you're in America.
You're in America. Yeah, when you are in America and you're cutting out that pie, you tend to describe every slice more.
Yeah, because there's a better filter applied in America than it is in other countries.
But when you take that same pie and you put it in the international market, you tend not to grasp to the familiar. You do not want to stand alone. You do not want to stand by yourself.
We don't mind. No. You're confusing it. It's not that we don't want to stand by ourselves. We understand that those people's education is not suffice for them to understand American social context. So we give it to them the way that they can register it. Don't confuse the two. It's not that we don't want to stand on our own.
Okay.
Black Americans always stood on their own.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves now. Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's look at Nigeria. Let's look at Nigeria. Let's compare Nigeria to the United States.
Yeah.
How many black people are in Nigeria?
I think it's over. I think it's over. It might be somewhere around 80 million, something like that.
All right, so the population too big. I'm not going to use Nigeria.
It's almost. I think it might be double what the United States has.
Yeah, not using Nigeria. The population.
Let me look it up. Let me look up what the population of Nigeria is like. Let me look that up. I think they got one of the world's fastest growing populations in Africa. Let me see. Nigerian population.
All right, no, leave Nigeria.
Damn, no, they got like 240 million.
Yeah,
they got way more than I said. Yeah, it's a lot.
So guess what? I'm going to use per capita per 100,000, and I'm going to compare Botswana, which is a black African country. Would you agree with me on that?
Yeah.
I think Botswana is a sub-Saharan African country. Yeah. What about it?
Yeah, but I'm going to compare Botswana to blacks in the United States.
You're going to compare them to blacks in the United States?
Yes, an achievement. Yes. And we're going to say per 100,000. Are there more lawyers in Botswana than black lawyers in the United States per 100,000?
That could be true. I wouldn't know, but that could be true. But what's your point?
I'm asking. No, because you are saying you made an argument, or you made a point that the other black people around the world is less educated.
Oh, they are.
Than American black.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Didn't you say that?
Yeah, that's a fact.
No, but
it's not even up for debate.
But if I'm going country by country, and I just established, and I'm using Botswana, and I'm asking you, if per 100,000